For me, Yumin, Louie Tee. Welcome to the Command Post Game Live. You know what it is. Post up. Take command. I, of course, am your Commander-in-Chief, Louie Tee. Thank you for joining me. Commanders get it done 24-16, snap a 3-game losing streak, get back to 500 on the season, 24-16. In what was a very interesting game. And I think I've got a read on Eric Bieniemy to this point. Very disappointed in his performance today. Really pleased with what the defense did today. And I'm sort of upset at Jack because it shouldn't have taken us to have to talk about firing your ass and twisting your arm backwards to get you to put Khaleke Hudson on the field. He was playing his ass off today. To get you to blitz. That's how you forced the 3 picks today, because you put pressure on Ridder and he panicked, which you could have done last week against Justin Fields, and you would have probably gotten similar results, if not sacks, maybe not picks, but you would have gotten not, Justin Fields having a damn field day on us and the Bears putting up 40 points. It's a damn shame we got to get to these measures to get you to get into the bag of blitzes that you have. And I thought some young guys got in there and played well. I thought Quan Martin played well today. I thought Khaleke Hudson played well today. I thought Casey Tuhill was effing outstanding today. So it was the others. It wasn't Chase Young. It wasn't Montez Sweat. We got to check on him with the finger. It wasn't Payne or Allen. It was the others. Okay? It was the others that really produced today. Jamin Davis with his first career interception. Benjamin St. Juste. I think it's going to snow tomorrow. He got his first career interception. Hey, Jarris, get your mans, okay? You told me he was him. Get your mans. He's cheeks. We won this game because Desmond Ridder is cheeks. 3 interceptions. This is a team, much like our offensive line, and really that's more about Sam, not getting rid of football. And I think I'm putting a lot of that on EB. We're going to talk about that. But they came into the game with 5 sacks. They walked away with 5 today. We came away with 2 interceptions on the season, and I think how many turnovers for the year? 5, I believe. 5 turnovers, if I'm not mistaken, on the season. And we came away with 3 picks today. So really unexpected production from the defense. They carried us in this game, and this is what you call a 3-phase win, right? We talk about complementary football. That's what it looks like. This offense was not good for most of the game, right? Early on, they were moving the football, and I've got to take for EB. I'm going to give that to you in a second, but how about Jamison Crowder? JC Ice, yeah. Nothing's better than ice. JC Ice. As in icy hot. He's old, man. He should have scored a touchdown there, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. It was good to see a punt return not go backwards, lose yards, or go for 6 or 7 yards. Hell of a job there, and hell of a return by Jamison Crowder. That was awesome. And then to see the defense, produce a turnover that sets up great field position and the offense take full advantage of it. That's what we call 3-phase winning, right? That's what we call complementary football. Offense is able to take advantage of a short field created by special teams, touchdown. That's what you do. Offense able to take advantage of a short field created by the defense, touchdown. That's what you do. Without it, we don't win this game, because EB clearly did not have a game plan for man coverage, because that's all the Falcons were doing, was playing man coverage, and they locked our guys' asses up. Sam had nowhere to go with the football, and at some point, if you're EB, you got to do some different shit. You ran a screen, and Gates got called for holding. That doesn't mean you can't run another screen the entire game. Doesn't. You get into these late game situations, and let's start with the end of the first half, right? Falcons go down, they get a score, and get back into the game, right? So if you're Washington at that point, you want to get something, because the Falcons get the ball after half. So you want to get something going into halftime. You do a great job of using your final timeout to stop the clock with 1:36. So you're going to get this football back with plenty of time to get in the field goal range. Time is not a factor at this point. The first thing you do as an offensive coordinator when you're trying to check, it's called checking the temperature. Because you want one or two things to happen. Either you going down and getting some points, or it's the end of the half. Because by the time they get the ball back, they don't have time to do shit with it. Or they definitely not going to have any. And they already had used one of their timeouts. So they couldn't get the ball back with a minute and some change. Or at least they shouldn't have. But they did. You know why? Because we didn't check the temperature. You had a pass, incomplete. Then a run. No, you had a sack. Then another sack. And then you had Sam try a screen and beat it into the ground. So, again, what are we doing? You should have run a screen or a draw on the first play of the possession to check the temperature, right? You get 8 on that draw or you get 7 on that screen. All right, let's go try to get some points. That shit gets shut down, and now we burning clock. Either they got to use a timeout or we going to let this bitch run because we know we ain't going to get nothing. He didn't check the temperature or nothing. That was a terrible position. And I thought that was really the basis for what was about to occur the remainder of the game. Because we ain't really do shit else the rest of the game. Defense provided us with a pick. Kendall Fuller turned that into points. And damn sure Cosme was down the field. I saw it live and I was like, shit, they might get us. And they let it ride. And we got away with one and we got in the end zone. And here's my problem with EB, right? So let me give y'all what I see from EB right now. He's doing a tremendous job of scripting his first 15. And those first 20 to 30 plays that he's got in his bag or so, excellent. That's the shit they've worked on all week. They feel really good about that particular part of the game plan. And then once we get outside of those first 15 to 20 plays, those 25 or so, now it's like he's lost. He's grasping at straws. I don't think he's got a good feel for calling games yet. I really, truly don't. You know, we'll get an 8-yard run on first down, and he'll throw 2 passes, and it'll end up being 4th down. You go, bro, what the hell was that? Like, that's what happened to us today. We had an incompletion on first down. We get a 9-yard run to Brian Robinson on 2nd down. We throw it on 3rd down. Now you got to run it. And we ran the read option, and Sam kept it and got the first down. Like, what are you doing, bro? Run it on 3rd down and 1. Hey, it's not rocket science. And you are allowed, right? This is allowed to get under center and run the football. That is allowed. Last time I checked, that is not banned. I may have to consult the rule book to make sure that it is allowed for you to run under center, right? You can actually put your quarterback under center like you did for the play action fake easy touchdown pass to Gibson in the red zone. You are allowed to get under center and hand the ball off, okay? I may have to check the rule book just to make sure that is allowed. But you had ample opportunities to put this game away. And no screens, right? Nothing quick. What happened to the quick game? We got a chance to put the game away after the juice interception. And the first thing you do is go heavy play action fake and try to take a shot. What are we doing here, bro? Where's the psychological sense in that? I mean, I'm lost. It's incomplete. You stop the clock. Like, what are you doing, bro? Help me. I'm lost. Make it make sense. EB's play calling was all over the place. The shit was sloppy. It was disjointed. Nobody was open. Seemed like the concepts were pretty simple. Logan Thomas going to run up and try to run in, or he's going to try to run out. Well, Logan ain't breaking nobody off. He ain't creating no separation. Jahan had a drop today that probably would have been a touchdown. And you know what? I'm not even mad at Jahan. I'm more so pissed off at the fact that this is what happens when you don't get guys involved early in ball games. Like, and I'm not making any excuses. Jahan got to catch the damn football. You know, he's killing us with these drops. We scored a touchdown on that drive anyway, so I'm not tripping about it. But he got to catch the damn football. All this talk about his damn hands when we drafted him and how he didn't drop any balls, and you know, if he dropped the ball, he had to do push-ups, all this shit. So, you know, that's why my hands are so good. I can't tell because you dropping the ball this year. But in his defense, it's easy. I liken it to playing baseball, and you in the outfield, and the ball ain't came to you for 6 innings, and you just out there kind of just meandering around, and it's easy to lose focus, man. Shit ain't happening. Nothing's come your way. And you get caught. The one time you ain't paying attention, you're looking down, kicking the grass. All you hear is ping. And you look up and you're trying to find the ball and your shit beating 1,000,000 miles per second because it's coming your way. And now you got to find it and you got to try to track it. That's what happened to Jahan. He finally gets the shit thrown to him after not. How many targets did he have today? One? Was that the only one? Maybe two? Like, how are you supposed to get into a rhythm when you're not getting the ball thrown your way at all? Like, that shit is crazy to me. Again, that's on EB. You can't throw this man a wide receiver screen to start the game off just to get him in the rhythm of the game. We didn't throw one wide receiver screen today. Not a single one. Easy completion out of your quarterback's hand into a playmaker's hand. Get some blockers in space. That's how you start a drive when you're trying to put the game away. We didn't do that once. EB is showing a pattern of not being able to adjust during the course of a game. And I'm starting to question his ability to call a cohesive game. There was no excuse for this game to be close. None. And I don't want to take anything away from the Falcons defensively. They've been good defensively for most of the season, so I got to give them credit where credit is due. They're probably really good on the back end because it looked like they were all over our receivers. It didn't look like they were doing anything complex. They looked like they literally were just lining up and playing man coverage. Beat us. And it didn't look like we were able to do that for whatever reason. But some of that is scheme. We got to do a better job of getting playmakers involved. I love that Terry had 8, 9 targets a day and 6 or 7 catches. I love that. I love that Curtis got another touchdown and he, had the nice little play in the red zone. I love that. Jahan is a huge part of this offense and he still isn't involved enough. Yeah, the drop was huge and he needs to catch the damn ball. But he also needs more than 2 targets in the football game. That's asinine. You know how many teams would kill to have a Jahan Dotson on their team and we don't even use him? The run game is stale as hell. Like, we got to find a better way to, like, this is some Scott Turner type run game shit. Like, I'm starting to get to the point now where I'm becoming nauseated watching the run game. This shit is ridiculous. You can't tell me that the only run plays we have are out of shotgun. I'm not buying it, and I'm not trying to hear the shit. I don't want to hear about this gun run shit. There got to be other ways you can get other guys involved. You can't give Jahan a jet sweep. I mean, that we can't do that. We can't get him no touches. We can't create better looks in the run game at all. No way. You can't put Curtis Samuel in the backfield and give him a toss play. Something. Hell, toss it to Antonio Gibson. I don't give a shit. Everything's got to be, zone out of gun, counters out of gun, delay out of gun. That shit is stale, and the opposition has seen it for 6 weeks straight. Ain't nobody fooled by that shit. It's slow developing. We're not moving anybody off the line of scrimmage. You got to come with something better than that, bro. And the sacks, yeah, they on Sam. But EB take half of that shit because, again, some of these situations, he shouldn't be dropping back that damn far. And the route shouldn't be that damn far down the field. You get into a situation where you should be in 4-minute offense. Where's the 5-yard stop route? I keep seeing guys running all the way down the field. Where's the 5-yard stop route? Where's the drive starter? Hey, if not for Jack and the defense, if not for the special teams and Jamison Crowder, we don't win this game because the offense definitely didn't carry their weight. The only thing I can say about the offense is when we got in the red zone, they cashed in. Every time somebody provided them with an opportunity or a short field, they didn't miss. And that's important. I've talked about red zone efficiency. The league is essentially third downs on both sides of the football, end of half situations, and red zone. That's where the game is won and lost. Can you get off the field on third downs? Can you stay on the field on third downs? Can you defend before the half? Can you score before the half? Can you defend before at the end of the game? Can you score at the end of the game if necessary? And then when you get in the red zone and you get opportunities, can you take advantage of them? And can you stop the opposition from taking advantage of them? We did both of those things in this game. We stopped the Falcons in the red zone. We stopped them on a 2-point conversion after giving them multiple tries. And we forced a turnover in the red zone. We stopped them on a 4th down. This defense was tremendous. And if not for their play in this game, we lose. Hell, if Taylor Heineke was playing, we probably lose this game. Let's keep it a buck. They got to come better on offense than this shit. This wasn't good enough. And I don't want to hear about collectively dragging your ass across the finish line, because literally the defense drug your ass across the finish line today. This looked like some Scott Turner 2021 Taylor Heineke shit. And we better than that now. Or at least we're supposed to be. So I need them to tighten the hell up. I need EB to come with a much better game plan after the first 15 to 20 plays run out. I need you to actually look like you have some sort of idea of what you're trying to get to. It just look like we're just running a bunch of shit. Like there's no rhyme or reason. We're not trying to actively get guys involved. We just running shit. There's no stringing plays together. We're not setting anything up. It just looked like we just calling shit. Like I'm out here calling flag football plays. Hey, let's run this one, man. You think this one might work? Yeah. Well, shit. Well, let's call it. There's no rhyme or reason to what the hell we're doing. We're not building off of anything. Nothing seems cohesive. This was a mess today. I was not pleased with the offensive efficiency today at all. Only place I was really pleased with them was in the red zone. This was ridiculous. And you're not going to win many games playing like this. I don't even think we had 250 yards of total offense today. Shit was a joke. And we came into this game thinking we were going to have to outscore Atlanta. And I knew the score was going to end up being lower because I knew the Falcons defensively weren't bad. I knew they were a solid defense. But I still thought we could move the ball on them. And I thought we would, if we didn't turn it over. And we didn't turn it over. And generally, that's how you win in this league. Just more games in this league are lost than they are won. The Falcons lost this game. And I don't give a shit. I'll take it. We're 3-3. We're back to 500. We got a chance to get over 500 next week against a bad Giants football team. My guess is they'll get all their shit back. Daniel Jones will play next week. Andrew Thomas, who hasn't played in a month, will play next week. I don't give a shit. I want them back. I don't want no excuses. I want all of their asses back. I want to beat them next week and then have an opportunity to knock off Philadelphia if the Dolphins don't get to them first. But you're going to have to play better than this shit. That's a fact. You can't be 2 of 9 on third downs and expect to beat anybody. You can't have less than 250 yards of total offense and expect to beat anybody. We probably got crushed in time of possession. Let me go check that out. I felt like the Falcons had the ball the whole goddamn second half. Feel like we've never had the football. Yeah, they crushed us in time possession, 36-23. You can't win football games like that. If not for the 3 turnovers, we lose this game easy. That's ridiculous. We had 193 yards of total offense. We didn't even make it to 200. That shit is abysmal, man. 2 of 10 on third downs? Like, who you beating doing that shit? You got lucky. That Desmond Ridder was across the field from us. You got lucky. Anybody else across the field from us with any kind of quarterback acumen and accuracy, we lose today. I'm glad the defense stepped up and made plays, though. That was huge. Good to see guys making plays. Good to see Jamin Davis making a play. I don't understand the route. You don't have any more timeouts. You got Jamin Davis one-on-one with Bijan Robinson outside. You going to run a slant? This ain't the third quarter with 11 minutes left to go in the game. You need a touchdown. You should have been taking his ass uptown. Anyway, that's not my problem. That's a you problem, you know, if you're Atlanta. That ain't a me problem. Good play by Jamin Davis. I don't know what the hell Ridder was doing, but we got pressure on his ass, and he threw it up for grabs, and Juice was there to pick it off. Hey, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Kendall Fuller jumped a route. Love it. He could have easily had 2 picks in the game. He had one that he jumped on a 3rd down, went off his shoulder pad. Ridder was cheeks. Fresh buns straight out the oven. Check. It wasn't the prettiest for Sam either, but 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Add that to the stat sheet. Wasn't it one of his worst games from a completion percentage standpoint, because Sam was pushing 70. He was at 68.6. That was the highest completion percentage for a Washington quarterback in their franchise's history through the first 5 weeks of the season. Sam was pushing 70. That comes down after today's performance, 14-23. But 3 touchdowns, add that to the ledger, right? I think we were 6 over 6 going into this game, if I'm not mistaken. So that pushes us up to 9. Because I'm trying to get this touchdown to interception ratio where it needs to be, up around 2.5 to 1, 3 to 1 if I can. That's asking a lot when you already got 6 on the season. But if we cut them out and we keep pushing these touchdowns, you look up and next thing you know, 18 over 6. That's 3 to 1 right there, right? But we got a long way to go. But he got the job done. We scratched the name off that 2022 list, right? Ridder was ahead of him. Scratch him off. I'm looking at Bailey Zappi and I'm like, bro, you trying to get in this lineup or what? I'm trying to get Matt Jones the hell up out of here so you can be there when we see you so we can scratch your name off the goddamn list. You next. Like Goldberg. Who next? Bailey Zappi is. Get your ass in this lineup so you can get this work. Disappointed in EB. Happy for Jack in the defense. Happy for guys like Khaleke Hudson and Quan Martin who got opportunities, who took advantage of them, who played really well today. Happy for the guys that got their first career turnovers forced. Jamin Davis, first career interception. Benjamin St. Juste, first career interception. Casey Toohill, probably his first 2-sack game of his career. Maybe not, but he was huge in this game, Casey Toohill was. Huge. And he forced an intentional grounding, which is like another sack. It was good. FA was flying around. It was good to see 97 back out there. I thought Chase was very active today. Missed the opportunity for a sack, but that's Chase Young. You know, we've come to expect him to get there, but not actually get the quarterback down on the ground. And I thought the secondary actually played well today. You know, there were opportunities for Atlanta. Ridder missed some guys, especially early in the game. He had an opportunity deep and he missed. But for the most part, we didn't give up many explosives. I think the one explosive that we did give up was to Drake London down the sideline. That was heavily contested by Juice. That was a 50-50, but I actually thought Juice caught the bitch, to be honest with you. When he came down, he looked like he had more possession of the ball than Drake London did. But look, they're always going to give that tie to the receiver. They're always going to do that. So that was their one explosive in the game. We limited Bijan Robinson's impact. We didn't let him do anything in space. We tackled his ass at the line of scrimmage, never really let him get going. That was huge because so much of their offense runs through him and his ability to create big plays. And we shut that shit down. Kyle Pitts was a non-factor for the most part. Did draw a penalty, did have a third down catch or two early in the game, but we pretty much shut that shit down too. It was really Drake London, and that was it, right? Van Jefferson got behind us early in the game, and Ridder missed him, but we didn't give up much of anything. Deep. Everything was short underneath. We rallied, we tackled. I love the hustle. I thought we were flying to the football. This looked like the defense that we saw in week 1 against Arizona. This looked like the defense we thought we were going to be getting all season long. Now, Jack, I need consistency from you. I need you to dial up blitzes on third downs, not every single third down. And he didn't dial up a blitz every single third down in this game. But when it was warranted, he did, and it was effective. You need to do more of that. And if you get beat doing that, I tip my cap to the opposition and say, you got us. But we can't stand back in zone. We don't play zone well enough. You can't just sit back in zone and say, hey, beat us. Or you can't turn our guys loose in man and say, hey, beat us with a 4-man rush and we don't get there and then somebody gets cooked. Come after their ass, speed up their process, and see what happens. Live with the results. That's been my mindset. That's always been my mindset. It's going to continue to be my mindset. And it seems like Jack is adopting that mindset as well. Should have been done that. We wouldn't have lost to the Bears. Huge game for the defense. I really think it's going to snow tomorrow. We got a punt return from Jamison Crowder who turned back the clock. And we got an interception from Juice and Jamin Davis. I don't know what to do with myself right now. I don't know what to do with myself right now. Anyway, I digress. Sam was solid. The run game was not. Curtis Samuel probably had the longest run of the day on the little pop, and that's not even a run. That was a catch. I think it was a catch. Brian Robinson Jr. 10 for 31. I mean, that's gross, but that's a byproduct of the run game, to be honest with you. Chris Rodriguez was the most effective guy we had running the football, and really, he just hit it downhill. Brian Robinson probably was doing a little too much stutter stepping in the backfield, but it won't know where to go. Same stale-ass run plays. Terry, 11 targets in the game. That's good to see, 6 for 81. Curtis Samuel, 4 catches on 4 targets. But this Jahan shit is getting old fast. He had 1 target, and that was the drop. Now, he needed to catch the bitch, and if he catches it, it's probably a touchdown. He gotten behind the defense, and Sam laid it up there beautifully for his ass. But that can't be his only target of the game, bro. Like, that shit don't even make sense. That don't compute. I type that shit in, and I'm getting an error message every time. That shit don't compute. It don't make no sense. I mean, I just don't want to hear about, I don't care about stats. I don't want to hear about, progressions, none of that shit. I need you to get your playmakers involved. Jahan is a playmaker. Get him involved early, and I bet you don't see those drops. Now, he got to catch that shit anyway. But I bet you he's locked in if you get him a target or 2 early in the ball game and get him going. Shit's ridiculous, man. Shout out to my guy, before I forget, shout out to my guy, John Perez, man. JP tied the knot yesterday, sent pictures on socials. I retweeted that. Hopefully y'all were able to see that. Congratulations to him and his bride. They looked both awesome. The ring, everything looked beautiful. Congratulations, and may you guys be blissful from here on out and share the rest of your lives together and make so many memories together, man. And hopefully start to build a family if that's something that you're interested in doing, man. But once again, congratulations to our guy, JP, for tying the knot. All right. Let's get to the comment section and see what you guys have to say. Elf Life, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, I hate playing not to lose instead of trying to win. I didn't feel like that. EB was over aggressive. if anything, I don't think he was playing not to lose is what we did against Arizona when we got the turnover, the second one from Montez Sweat, and we ran it 3 times in a row and kicked the field goal. That's playing not to lose. When you go heavy play action fake and take a shot after Juice's interception with 2 minutes and some change left in the game. I think it might have been 3 minutes left. And that's your first play instead of you trying to, get a quick completion, a screen, something that's going to get the clock moving, force Atlanta to maybe think about calling one of their timeouts. When you do that shit, that's not playing not to lose. That's being over aggressive where you go, bro, what are you doing? Same thing right before the half. That's being too damn aggressive, trying to bite off too damn much. Where the screen at? Where the draw at? Where the play to figure out, do we need to even aggressively chase points here before the half? Or do we need to just make sure that they don't get an opportunity? We didn't do shit. We didn't go in. We went in reverse, and we didn't burn any clock. They got the ball back with like a minute 26 and a timeout. Luckily enough for us, Desmond Ridder was ass, so it didn't backfire on us. EB was too damn aggressive and not in the right sense. F. Altus, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member. Or F. Altus writes, yo, Lou, where your apology to Jamison Crowder? You know what? I'm going to offer that up right now. I'm going to go ahead and give a double O because he deserves it because I was flagrant. I was flagrant with the disrespect for JC Ice. So, yeah, I'll give up the double O right now. Okay. I was wrong about Jamison Crowder. Shout out to oldie but goodie JC Ice, man. It was so good to see a return of that magnitude for this team. We needed it today. As you can see, we were stale. We needed a shot in the arm, and JC Ice gave. It was a 7-3 ball game. We were struggling. That punt return turned the whole game around, and we never looked back. We never trailed after that point of getting in the end zone after that huge punt return. So huge big ups to JC Ice. He deserves a lot of that credit for kickstarting this offense and the scoring for us. And he deserves it. So double O for JC Ice. Shout out to my guy, JC Ice, for getting it done. Jay Willard, been a member for 2 years, 25 months. Writes, 1 win, 2 interceptions from Juice and Davis and Fuller, 3 punt return yards, but seeing the refs trying to get the Falcons to help cover was a commander's game, LOL. I mean, the shit was comical with some of the no calls, but I told you, if they're consistent, I ain't tripping. And they were consistent because we got away with a couple of holds that I saw that they didn't call. Obviously, they didn't call Sam Cosmi down the field on that last touchdown to B-Rob after the Fuller interception in the second half. So I can't complain. You know, the Cody Barton personal foul penalty was the right call. He was OC on that blitz. And that was a hell of a blitz. And I'm mad because Quan Martin forced a fumble on that play. That was a great blitz by Quan Martin. And he got there and he made something happen, and Cody Barton canceled the shit out. But it ultimately worked out for us because it bled more clock, and they still ain't getting no damn points. And we still ended up forcing them to throw an interception. So all they did was take 2 more minutes off the clock and still not get shit out of it. But we would have had – well, they probably would have kicked the field goal. So it would have been a totally different game. It was a lot more comfortable being up 8 than, you know, possibly being up 5 at 24-19 where a touchdown beats you. I would have been on pins and needles. I was never really totally nervous because I knew they needed a 2-point conversion still. And I didn't think they were going to get it, to be honest with you. So I felt really good about us winning this game. I thought we were going to end up winning 24-22, if we're being honest with one another. Glizzy McGuire, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, no B&G J's for TH4. Nah. Well, he didn't start anyway, so I don't see him spending his check on Birds for the game when he didn't participate. But he says, thank you, Falcons, for playing their trash starter instead. They don't know the lore of Washington former players cooking us like last week. All I know is if Heineke plays, we lose. I wanted no parts of Heineke. I made that abundantly clear when this showed up on the schedule early. I was like, if this was week 10, there's a chance Desmond Ridder is benched by then because he stinks. But I said week 6, he should still be in the lineup. That's too early to pull to yank a young quarterback. You got to give him time. But you get to week 10 and he's stinking it up. I could have seen Heineke be in, but I'm glad. I'm glad he played a great, because they were talking about, I mean, and I say they, I use that loosely because I don't know if the Falcons ever considered benching him. But after that Jacksonville game over in London where he threw that pick 6 and they lost and they only scored 7 points, I know there were some conversations being had outwardly. I don't know if they ever made them internally, but that bounce back game against Houston was what he needed. And I'm glad that put all that shit to rest. And then we were able to take advantage of his ass with that false confidence. So that's 2-3 interception games for him now, I think. And that's his first home loss of his career, NFL or college. So I was glad. Somebody said this we streak beaters, right? Don't bring your streak to us, good or bad. You know, good or bad. If you ain't caught a touchdown pass in 3 years, hey, we exactly who you looking for. If you ain't had a sack in 2.5 years, we'll get you one, right? If you haven't won a game in a year and a half, we're the team you're looking for. We'll help you with that. But if you haven't lost in XYZ, you don't want to see us because we're going to blow that shit up. If you ain't lost at home in college, don't come looking for us because we're gonna F some shit up. So we some streak beaters right now. Again, good or bad, you just don't know what side we're gonna end up on. Jonnu Smith hadn't scored a touchdown in 40-something games. He's like, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I don't know how long Calais Campbell been sitting on 99 sacks for his career. I'm pretty sure he's been sitting on that for a while, probably since last year. And they've been talking about it all offseason. He's going to get to 100, and they, were ready to celebrate. Of course it was going to happen on us. Of course. That's what we do. But we also broke Desmond Ridder's streak, and that's what we do too. Tay G, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, defense made them plays today. Did they ever? I don't know what the F we had going on offense. I already talked about that with EB. In the second half, it was atrocious. Sands for that first possession after the Fuller interception. The second half was a wash. I mean, I think we went 3 and out on every single possession outside of that first one. I don't think we had a first down after the touchdown. I could be wrong. I don't feel like we had one. Maybe there was a catch and run for Terry that created a first down, but that was it. I mean, we were awful in the second half. And I put that on EB's shoulders. I didn't see guys open. I didn't see any creativity. I didn't see any flow. I didn't see anything that would give the Falcons pause, like something they had to think about. Everything was straightforward. I didn't see stacks and bunches to create confusion, off the line of scrimmage. Nothing. We were spread out. We were easy to contain. Guys were in one-on-one coverage, and they were locking our dude's ass up. And that's on EB's shoulders. You got to get creative. He says, also, what do you think about that the RTP call? Roughing the pass. It was a good call. It was a good call. He literally hit him in the head with both his hands. Like, bro, what are you doing? I know you were trying to jump in the air and back the ball down, but you cannot hit the quarterback in the head. They're going to call that every single time. And it's a shame because Quan Martin had his first career NFL sack and forced fumble. And you took that away from the young fella. Shame on you. And I actually thought Barton played well today. I thought the defense as a whole, but I thought the linebackers in particular were flying around today. Him and Jamin Davis. That was a bad play by him, though. Jamin took away a touchdown in the red zone. They were trying to roll out and get it to Bijan, and Jamin said, nah, not on my watch. Not having it. Then they got to delay a game, and then they ended up throwing the interception. So Jamin was huge. CJ Shoots photo. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, yo, Lou, good game. Proud of the defense and the interceptions and Tuhill. Tuhill was huge today. Let me see if they credited him with a third sack, because it was one that he got right at the line of scrimmage, but they be dicking dudes. Oh, man. Oh, San Francisco lost. Oh, shit. The Browns they were in that game. PJ Walker got it done. I wonder if anybody picked the 49ers in the survivor pool. Wow. Oh, man. That's a hell of a way to – I'm nervous now. The Eagles, they don't got either one of their corners. They should win that game. I hate asking the Eagles to do shit for me. I don't want to root for them to do nothing but lose, but I need them to win. Let's look at Casey Tuhill's box real quick. See what we had 3 sacks on the day, so Tuhill had 2, and he had a nice pressure. So they did give him credit for that sack. Good. He deserved it. Jamin had the other sack when he pushed Ridder out of bounds. We got to get back to tackles for loss and get back to being disruptive as a defensive line. I thought Jonathan Allen was really active today, too. I thought he was all around. He didn't get to the other side of the line of scrimmage, but he made a lot of tackles today, it felt like. See, they got him down for it got to be at least 5 or 6. Felt like he was in around the football. He had 6 tackles, 5 of them solo. He was all over the field, man. Definitely a great game for the defense. This was their best performance of the year, better than Arizona, even though we didn't give up a single touchdown in that Arizona game. Defensively, still, this was even better, right? Way better. 3 turnovers forced. We needed them. They came up. They set up the offense for points. Like, they did everything in this game. They were huge. Stopped them on a 2-point conversion after they called juice for a pass interference and put it at the 1. And we still stopped Khalid with a huge stop. Like, I just don't understand why it took Khalid this long to get on the field. Like, this is the shit that bothers me. Like, as fans, we're watching this and we can see it. Why can't you? I don't understand. Every time Khalid gets an opportunity, he goes out and he balls, and there's this infectious energy that he plays with that you can't help but say, damn, if Leak balling like that, how can I not go out here and give 110% effort? I just don't understand, like, the reluctancy to put guys on the field who have earned opportunities. I don't get it. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Lou, +3 in the turnovers, keys to the game, called the Jamin pick. That was huge, man. When Jamin cut in front of that thing, I was like, he not going to really catch this, is he? Nah, this going to hit his chest and bounce off. Jamin caught that bitch. I'm so happy for Jamin, man, because it's been a roller coaster for him too. But I told y'all about 3 weeks ago, and I was very critical of him in the Bears game. I did not think, but he wasn't the only one, but I did not think he played his best brand in the ball that game. I thought he was loafing. I thought the effort was extremely low. I thought a lot of our guys just looked out of sync against the Bears. But he's been better this year. This is the best year of Jamin Davis, as it should be, right? But he's been outstanding this year. And Jamin's really turned the corner. That interception was huge. AfroCat2136. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, want Curl to be a playmaker? Take him away from the line of scrimmage. Read and react player, film junkie. He can play 20 yards deep and still find his way to the line of scrimmage. He was huge today. Cam Curl made a tackle inbounds on Jonnu Smith or Michael Pruitt that forced them that, and that was late. I want to say that was probably the end of the first half. I don't think it was at the end of the game. It might have been at the end of the game. But that was a huge tackle. He had the pass breakup on 4th down that turned it over on downs. And that I don't even think that was his man. I think he came off of the guy he was covering and reacted, turned around, and got to Bijan and knocked that thing loose. He made some great tackles in this game. He had a pass breakup on the tight end Kyle Pitts. He was huge, man. Cam Curl was outstanding. This is the kind of game that you look at and you say, this is why he needs to be paid. You know, it's just a matter of, again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Because, again, stat sheet's not going to tell you all the shit that he did other than the pass breakups. It's not going to tell you about the tackle inbounds or, you know, all of the ways he impacted the game on a 4th down pass breakup. You know, that's not going to show up. But we know, we watch the game, we know what he's capable of and what he brings to this table, brings to the table. Jordan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jordan writes, starting to get worried about Jahan. No need to be worried about Jahan. He didn't forget how to catch the football. How about you get him involved? As I just mentioned, for those of you who have never played sports, it's not going to register to you, but you can check out of a game when you're not involved. That happens. We're humans, which is why I always advocate for getting playmakers the ball early. That's why guys get frustrated when they don't get targeted early in the game, because you become disinterested. It's hard to detach yourself. I mean, it's easy to detach yourself from the ball game and have mental lapses and concentration when you're not getting the football. It's easy to lose sight of staying focused and being locked in. Because you, in your mind, you say, the shit ain't coming to me anyway. Then it finally come to you, and you don't focus, you don't look the shit in. No excuses in this regard. Catch the damn ball. That was a catchable football, just like it was against the Eagles on the 3rd down. You dropped the ball, and we had to punt. Catch the damn football. But they can do a better job of getting Jahan involved. This shit is getting out of hand now. And if EB can't get our playmakers involved, I don't want him here. I don't want to hear this shit about, you know, collectively dragging our ass across the finish line, and I don't care about stats. I do. I care about stats when it comes to the best players on the team, because that's how you win games. You saw the reason. You want to know why the reason the offense was going well early in the game? Because we got Terry the ball. We got Curtis the ball. It's not rocket science. When you get your best players, playmakers, the football and touches, good things happen. You know when shit goes sideways? When we start trying to force feed Logan Thomas. That's when shit goes sideways. Draw up a play for us to get the ball to number 1. How hard is that? It's not. I ain't worried about him. I'm worried about the play caller not getting him opportunities. That's what I'm worried about. Fat American, Sad American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Lou, our defense won us the game, but Ridder has some bad misses. Yeah, he did. I agree. Whatever. I'll say this. I'm watching Niners and Browns D play, and I'm like, damn, that's two of the best defenses in football right there. You know, Dallas's defense, I know they got cooked by the 49ers, but they fly around too. But the Browns and the 49ers, that's two of the best defenses right there in football. Rob, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, what up, Lou? What up, Rob? We finally got a Hudson sighting. Need more of him and Quan Martin out there. This is the funny part. You know, y'all was so hard on Quan. I need y'all to give Quan some love. For as much scrutiny as y'all had, y'all put this man under a microscope in the preseason. Y'all had this man deactivating his Twitter account in the preseason. Shame on y'all. And again, if I'm not talking to you, I'm not talking to you. So don't get all defensive. But a lot of y'all was talking shit about him. I know who y'all were. So I need y'all to give him some credit and put some respect on that man's name. He out here playing some good ball. Got the opportunity and he took advantage of it and he played well today. And we've been saying this I've been saying this for at least the last 2 years. Minimum. We need more Khalid. You can't put together a package for Khalid Hudson to get on the field. Are you kidding me? This is why I know this staff ain't it. Because it take them too long to figure shit out that we've been saying for the last 2 years. Jack need to blitz more. Khalid need to be on the field more. Like, this is elementary shit. We on our couch as Monday morning quarterbacks telling you what you should be doing. You do the shit and you get results. I don't understand it. Pay me the money. Pay us the money. Let us spread that money Jack getting amongst ourselves. We can call better defense than him if this the shit that y'all doing. Shouldn't have took us to get 40 put on our skulls by the Bears for you to start blitzing, for you to put Khalid. Literally the media, I feel like, sort of shamed him into putting like, yo, you told us that Khalid was playing ball. He had this game against Dallas. He got the game ball. You told us all offseason Khalid's playing ball. He was running with the ones. Why we ain't seen him? And Jack ain't had no answer for that. Now Khalid shows up in the game and Khalid making plays. Make it make sense, man. Help me. Help me. I ain't asking for much. I'm just asking for some clarity. As a wise man likes to say, over communicating clarity. Just clarify things for me why this man can't get on the field and why we can't run a successful blitz. We did it today. We got results, especially against young and dumb quarterbacks. When you young and dumb, you don't know no better. You see pressure, you just trying to get the ball out. We could have did the same thing to Justin Fields and got results last week. Inexcusable. Inexcusable. Eric Sunderland, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Eric Sunderland writes, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, writes, Casey Toohill is him. Great game for him. I'm happy for Casey, man. And you know, that used to be my guy that I used to always make fun of. Like, and what we supposed to do? Rush with Casey Toohill or Jay Smith-Williams? I thought Casey played his ass off today. And he did a really good job of retracing his steps, too. He never got too far up the field. You know, Ridder tried to step up, and he wasn't having it, man. Casey was in his bag. He did a great job of staying at home on those boots where they were trying to get him to chase the bait down the line, and he wasn't going for it. And he was huge, man. Casey was huge. Joey, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Joey writes, 2 awful sacks were on 3rd and long, tight coverage. I'd rather Sam not get hit, but in this game and circumstances, I'm happy to run the time down. I agree. And Matt Ryan was saying a lot of the same thing. The sacks today, but it speaks to a larger problem, right? In the context of this game, those sacks were fine. They didn't hurt drives. It wasn't like the sacks came on 1st down. The only sack that came on a 1st or a 2nd down was the one right before half where he got sacked 2 plays in a row, right? But at that point, you're pinned deep in your own territory. That's on EB, to be honest with you, because he shouldn't be dropping back in a position to get sacked on the first play of a 2-minute drive, right, where you're trying to see if you can get points. I watched football my entire life, and I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback just straight drop back and have deep concepts down the field when you're trying to get a 2-minute drive kicked off. Because, again, you got to check the temperature. Most coordinators come out, run a draw, or a screen or some kind of quick hitting play to see what we can get to determine if we're going to try to go get points or not. How aggressive are we going to be? That's why you check the temperature. He didn't check the temperature. He just came out guns a-blazing, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You putting Sam at risk for what? Now you get sacked. Now you got to drop back and do something. You get sacked again. Then you try to throw a screen on 3rd and forever. What ain't looking for screen now? Genius. Should have did that on 1st down. Good grief. I thought the sacks were fine today. I hate that he got sacked 5 times. He's going to get sacked 125 times this season if this pace continues. But I hate that, he got sacked 5 times today, but literally 4 out of the 5 sacks were inconsequential. They didn't really impact what we were doing, right? 3rd down and forever already. We were already in a position where we were probably going to have to punt if you didn't complete the ball. Like, again, I'd like him to find incompletions. There were times where like the first sack of the game, he could have found an incompletion there. Like, bro, come on. Like, what are we doing, Sam? Like, stop. The second one, I thought he could have found an incompletion there as well. The 3rd one and the 4th one, it wasn't anything he could have done. I don't think. Like, could he have thrown it away? Maybe, but he shouldn't even been in the position for those sacks. And then the last one, again, trash, right? So I didn't think those sacks impacted the game, but it speaks to a larger problem. We can't be giving those up. Sam can't be taking, unnecessary hits like that. But I'd rather him do that than turn it over like Desmond Ridder did. I'd much rather him get sacked than throw an interception. You ain't going to lose the game getting sacked. You'll lose the game throwing picks. That's why they lost the game today. So I'd much rather him take the sack, eat it, than throw a pick. Rich, been a member for 25 months, 2 years. Give JDR his credit. Called a hell of a game. He did. This was his best game he's called. And I'm going to take it a step further. This is the best game he's called probably since that Pittsburgh game back in 2020. Like, it's been a long time since he called a whale of a ball game like this. That's probably a little bit too far back. There were some games in 2021 that I thought he did a good job in. This one reminded me, though, of some of those 2020 performances. Like when we played some garbage quarterbacks like Nick Mullins, and we came after his ass, right, aggressively. And Nick Mullins ain't know what to do with that kind of pressure. Like, and we created turnovers in that game. If you recall, Chase had to scoop and score. Cam Curl had all the points we scored were defensive points, right? Cam Curl had the pick 6. That was all off of pressure, right? This felt more like that. This was a really good game by JDR. Will Diggs, been a member for 13 months. Appreciate you, who writes, offense was anemic in the second half. That's an understatement. You're being kind. If not for the pick by Fuller and the subsequent touchdown that followed, this would have been one of the worst offensive performances we've seen in a half since the Rams game when Alex Smith came back for the first time and gave Aaron Donald a piggyback ride. I think we had -6 yards of total offense in the second half of that game. Man, that was a tough one to watch. This wasn't that much different, except there wasn't as many sacks. And it wasn't wet and nasty outside. And we did score a touchdown, as I mentioned, in the second half. But it was bad. After that touchdown, it was all bad. Matter of fact, I'm curious. Did we have a first down? I think Terry had a catch. I'm going to go check right now. Did we have a first down after that one possession of the touchdown? Let's see. Rodriguez had 2 runs that netted us a first down, and then we promptly went 3 and out after that. So we did have one there. 3 and out there, 3 and out there, 3 and out there. Yep. So we had 1 possession and 2 possessions, excuse me. The Chris Rodriguez 2 runs. Then we promptly went 3 and out after that. And then Terry had an 18-yard catch where he broke the tackle of the safety, got up the field for 18 yards, and then we went 3 and out after that. So literally, this is our drives after the touchdown. 5 plays, 15 yards, punt. 4 plays, 21 yards, punt. 3 plays, -6 yards, punt. 3 plays, 2 yards, punt. 1 play, kneel down, end of the game. That was our drives in the second half. Outside of the 2 plays, 27 yards, touchdown after the interception by Kendall Fuller. Garbage. Rob, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Rob, who writes, great win to snap the loser streak, but what's going on with Jahan? We've talked about that already. I mean, I put this squarely on the show. I've been bitching about this all season with EB. EB's continuing, and I'm not going to let it go because we won the game. I'm not happy because we won the game. I want my playmakers, because we shouldn't have been this close. This game shouldn't have been us needing defensive stops multiple times over when the defense gave us more than enough opportunities to put this shit away. This should have never come down to a pick by Jamin Davis and a pick by Benjamin St. Juste to preserve the victory. It should have never come down to that. And if you get the ball to Jahan, Terry, Curtis, Diami, Antonio Gibson in space, it wouldn't have come down to this. So I'm putting this shit on EB. If I'm EB, I'm not happy about this shit. We won the game, but I'm not happy about how we won the game, because you're not beating good teams with this kind of offensive production. You're not beating the Eagles with this shit. You can't get jiggy with this shit against teams like Dallas and San Francisco and Miami. You get run out of the building bringing this shit to Miami late in the season. San Francisco, you will get your ass destroyed. This ain't good enough. You'll be in a dogfight with New England playing like that on offense. Belichick will goddamn on force 2 or 3 turnovers, and you will lose to New England doing that shit that we did today. They better tighten the hell up. Start finding ways to get Jahan the damn football. It's not hard. Fat American, sad American. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, call it eye test or whatever, but I'm still not entirely happy about our defensive performance. Don't get me wrong. EB left a lot on the field, etc., but our defense just doesn't move the needle for me. Look, you can't complain about the defensive performance today. Yeah, they gave up over 400 yards total offense. Part of that is the discrepancy in time of possession. They were on the field the entire second half. 36-23 was the breakdown. 36.5 to 23.5 time of possession. Let me go see how many more offensive snaps they had than us. We probably had 50-something offensive snaps. We were atrocious in this game. We had 50 total plays on offense. They had 79 plays on offense. Damn near 30 more offensive snaps than we had. That is disgusting. And that's on the offense. That's on the offense. 402 yards of total offense to our measly, paltry 193. You don't have to love the defensive performance, but when we needed them, they got the shit done. Zeta Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, felt like EB let off the gas. He can't let off the gas when we ain't never really totally had our foot on the damn gas. How you let off something and you ain't never floored it? You barely tapping the damn gas. We didn't have 200 yards of total offense. We should have kept the same energy we had in the first half. I don't think he does a good job. He does a great job of scripting the first 15 plays. I think the first 20, plays or so 20, 25 plays. Like, they do a great job of really attacking what that team does defensively. And then after that, now it's a matter of, all right, we into the rhythm and flow of the game. Let's look at some of the pictures on the sideline. Let's look at the tablet. Let's see what they're giving us, and let's adjust, right? Let's figure out what we can get to, what should work, how we can get playmakers involved. And it just feels like he's not doing that. It just feels like he's not doing that. He's just kind of calling random plays. Like, there's no fluidity, no continuity. There's just no synchronicity to what's being called. It just feels like he's just calling a bunch of random individual plays. Rob Yu, thank you for this super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rob Yu writes, need more consistency from EB. Run the ball. They did run the ball. We only had 50 snaps and they ran it like 22 times in this game. They ran the ball. The runs aren't good runs. They're basic ass shotgun runs that aren't fooling anybody. And as I've always said, we don't move people off the line of scrimmage. That's not who we are as a rush offense, as an offensive line. So you need to get to them quick. We need to get under center. And I would like to see them use the athleticism of this line. We got a pretty athletic group that can move. You saw it on the touchdown. Cosme got out there, and Sadiq Charles was running with Brian Robinson the whole damn time. It was his escort to the end zone. We got athletic dudes that can move. Gates can move. We can run. Use some tosses. Get these guys out in space. I shouldn't have to beg for these things. Give us some creativity in the run game. It's stale. The run game is stale as hell right now. It's stale. We done already chewed that piece of gum up. It ain't no flavor left in that thing. I'm just looking to spit it out at this point. Give me something else. Wilfredo Elias, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes. Fuller and Crowder made big plays. You just know Jay Gruden is in a college bar bragging to a nearby sophomore. First of all, I've heard Jay Gruden's name mentioned by y'all way too much over the last 2 weeks. I don't care about what Jay Gruden has to say. Okay, Jay Gruden doesn't work here anymore. He had his time. I'm good on Jay, and he may be speaking some truth. I'm good. All right. At the end of the day, Jay was definitely taking credit for a lot of the big time players that are on the roster, and I know he is somewhere smiling about Jamison Crowder making that play and Kendall Fuller. Also, even though Kendall Fuller was traded, but he was brought back, and he continues to be our best corner, to be honest with you. Jack Ass in the box. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Lou, love your content. I want to know, are the sacks on Sam holding the ball too long, or is it play calling, no check downs? Really? It's a combination of both. I thought more of the sacks today were on Sam, just the inability of him to just get rid of it, right? You got a guy as a check down, but he's covered. Just throw it at his feet or throw it over his head. He's in the vicinity. You're fine. Just get rid of it. He could have done that on 2 of the sacks in particular. But some of it, like I feel like 3 of the sacks, they're on EB calling poor plays at times where you go, bro, what are you doing? The 2 sacks before the half, those should never happen. Should never happen. Because you shouldn't be running drop back at that point of that drive. That's the first play of a 2-minute drive with about 1:46 left. Hey, let's check the temperature real quick. Either you running a screen or draw, or it's a 5-yard stop. Let's get this thing. Let's just figure out what we're gonna do, right? Because you either need to be pushing for points or you need to be making sure they're not getting shit. We didn't achieve neither, and they got the ball back with plenty of time. A timeout, which they shouldn't have had because Sam grounded the ball on the screen where you should have been running it to force them. Like EB was just all over the damn place, and I thought 3 of the sacks was on EB poor play calling. Like the end of the game, soon as we got that ball back after Juice's pick and we at the 20, I'm running a wide receiver screen to kick this drive off. This man went 7-step drop, heavy play action fake into double coverage to Terry. They didn't fall for it. What are you doing, bro? Not only did you just throw an incompletion that stopped the clock, it's now 2nd and 10. What are you doing, bro? This shit is so disjointed. What are you doing? It's a combination. Sam could have gotten rid of the football on 2 or 3 of those. EB could have made better play calls on 3 of the sacks for sure. Super DB GOAT. Super duper DB GOAT. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you who writes. PC at the end was iffy. EB has to find that rhythm. Yeah, play calling was definitely sketchy at best. Jack actually called good blitzes that's what I was saying. Like Jack was dialing them up. Cody came free on the same play that Quan got the sack for his fumble. The one where Ridder threw it up for grabs. That was a blitz. And I want to say it was Casey Toohill who came free and forced it. Like, Jack was in his bag today. I'm like, where's this been, bro? And he didn't call any moon blitzes. I was very satisfied. We got 3 interceptions. I want Jahan or Terry running those Diami routes. We should have blew them out. We should have blown them out. We had an opportunity at 24-10. This game was there for us to win 38-17. And we don't have the KI. And I told you we lack that. We lack the killer instinct that's necessary to step on somebody's esophagus and crush their larynx and end their night. We don't have that in us. We make everything harder than it needs to be. This game should have been over in the third quarter. We had him on the ropes and let him off the hook. Super DB Goat. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Also, Lou, I swear the inconsistency in the run game will bite us if not fixed. Jamison Crowder? We outside, but it's definitely still cloudy. Hashtag 3-3, hashtag NHO. We definitely outside. Sam's got another win. It wasn't the prettiest, but y'all know what it is.
New Howell order. New Howell order.
Nope. They gotta fix it up, man. They gotta get better in the run game. And I'm just disappointed because I just knew the screen game was going to be a bigger part of this offense. And I think that Sam pass to Brian Robinson was a screen. If it was, that shit was beautiful. I don't know if he was just like a down flat player late that released late, or if that was a called screen or rollout screen like that. I think it was, just looking at the way the offensive line handled it. God, that shit was beautiful. And that's what frustrates me with EB is I'm like, bro, you got some shit up your sleeve, man. You got some shit in the bag. It's just like, bro, what are we doing? It's like you got all this money, but you want to go to the store and you want to shop on the discount rack. And we don't need none of that shit off the discount rack. Like, you buy shit we don't need. What we gonna make with that? You just got some guava juice. Yeah, it was 37 cents, but what the hell are we gonna do with this guava juice, bro? You just got us some random ass shit. Like, what am I gonna do with that? Papaya seeds. 2 cents. Okay, that's cool, but what am I gonna do with these papaya seeds? Like, help me. Like, bro, you got the means to go in here and shop and get us some good quality ingredients to make some damn good food. Stop shopping over here on this. That's some old ass tomato paste. I can't do nothing with that. I can't even spread it. That shit don't even move no more. That evaporated milk is rotten, bro. Stop shopping over there with Logan and start shopping with the items that we know we can get some good usage out of. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Bet Up. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Bet Up writes, Cody Barton has to go. Stop defending this trash. KH, Khalid Hudson for the win. Look, I'm not defending Cody Barton because he's playing extremely well. I'm defending Cody Barton because y'all got an axe to grind and y'all are seeing red and y'all just ignoring everything else around him and just targeting him. And I'm like, he's not playing well, but he's not the only culprit. And I've seen worse. He's better than John Bostic. He's better than Perry Riley. He's better than Mason Foster. Called him facing everything but Mason Foster. He's better than all these bums we watched for years. I'm not bragging about that because none of them were any good. And he hasn't been all that great either. But he's not as bad as y'all been making him out to be. That's been my issue. Could we use an upgrade? Damn right. You know, I never wanted him in the first place. I wanted my old shit. I was cool with Cole Holcomb. No worries. We'll be upgrading the position at some point. Next year is my guess. When all these guys are no longer here, we're going to get some linebacker help in here. They're going to make it a point of emphasis, I believe, to upgrade the position. Super DB GOAT, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB So glad to have you on board, Mob. Y'all know what to do. Show Super DB GOAT some love. Show them what it's like to be a member of the MOBB. Welcome to the squad, Super DB GOAT. Fat American, sad American. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, EB choked in the fourth. Howell taking some bad sacks. Guess he forgot he could scramble. Well, this is the problem. He tried to scramble on 2 of the sacks, and there was nowhere for him to go. Like, there was no escape hatch. He was looking for an exit, and there was nowhere for him to go. And one of the problems I see with Sam is when he looks to escape, it's always forward. He never retreats backwards. He never buys himself more time. He's always looking to run forward, up the A or B gap. And teams know that now. The scouting report is out on them. So if you're a defensive end, just run the loop. And even if you get pushed around, he's going to come back to you. Because if they do their job up front of just keeping him in that cup, he's going to come right back, and you can loop back around. That's how they got 2 of their sacks. The edge rusher looped all the way back around, got pushed 10 yards up the field, looped back around, and Sam trying to escape now, sack, right? He's got to learn how to get depth, right? Outflank guys and then throw it away if it ain't there, right? There's going to be opportunities for you to step up. They come up too far, and you can then get up that C gap and get outside, or that D gap and get outside. But he keeps trying to escape through the A and B gaps, and it's just not going to be there all the time. Even Ridder showed how to maneuver in the pocket. How he just runs right into defenders, man. Like, what the F? Yeah, he's got a bad tendency to just try to escape right up the A and B gaps. He's got to learn how to maneuver a little bit. I think his pocket mobility is really good. I saw a couple of times where he stepped up, slid to the right or the left, created more time within the pocket. But when shit starts to crumble or there's nobody open and he starts to panic, that's when you see him running around and ended up getting sacked. So you just got to clean that shit up. That's a part of the process. I think he'll get better at that as he plays more. Jordan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, one word to describe EB's offense: immature. Mine is discombobulated. There's no fluidity with his offense right now. No 2 plays connected to each other. Nothing sets up another play down the road. It seems like he's just calling random ass plays off the sheet. It's discombobulated. The runs don't mesh well with the passes. So your play action fake don't really carry any weight. It feels like Scott Turner all over again in that regard. His play action fake never moved the needle because you don't run the football well enough. Your runs don't really marry with the pass game. And so get under center a little bit more. I just don't understand this refusal to get under center. I don't get it. Mine would be discombobulated. Envision Home DEG. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, hey, Professor Lou, special teams was special today. It was so refreshing. It was a sight for sore eyes. I didn't even know how to act. When Jameson, I was waiting for the flag, right? First, I was like, okay, who held, who blocked in the back? All right, who effed this up, right? Then I was like, oh shit, he's about, this reminded me of the Baltimore game all over again. Like, he's about to score, right? Because you remember that Baltimore game, he didn't get away scot-free. He had to break that last ankle tackle. He tripped a little bit, but he kept his feet and he got in it because we know Jameson ain't fast, right? And now that he's 30 years old, he really ain't fast. You know, he never had a step to give. He definitely don't have one now. And that last defender was coming out. I was like, come on, Jameson, you got enough in the tank, baby. Angle the other way. He kept running, towards the right or the left. I was like, bro, angle back to the right. Hey, start zigzagging if you have to. But he ain't had that left in him. I just needed that guy to dive, and he didn't dive. He went and hawked his ass down and tackled him. But I was happy for Jameson, man. He said Jameson was moving and shaking, but them Salem Light 100s caught up with that. Hey, stop playing, man. Hashtag start Khalik Hud. My guy MP, the realest. We got to do something about that, man. We got to get more opportunities for Khalik, man. So happy for Jamison Crowder. That was fun. That was fun to see him turn the clock back. Derek B, been a member for 25 months. Says good win, but TH4 beats us. 5 sacks are EB's fault. Not all 5 of them, no. I think I'm putting 2, possibly 3 on the shoulders of Sam. He could have gotten rid of, I know 2 for a fact. Like, bro, you could have gotten rid of it. Logan was running a shallow cross on one of them. You had Antonio out in the flats on one where he was covered, but you could have just thrown it over his head. You didn't have to take a sack. And I think it was another one where Terry was running a shallow cross. Again, he wasn't open, but you could have gotten it to Terry. It would have been a minimal gain, incomplete, whatever. He didn't have to take those sacks. There were 2 in particular where I go, what are we doing here, bro? I'm putting these on EB. What are we doing right now? Why is he even in this predicament, right? I'm putting those on EB. But they much like, who was it? What game was it? The Bears game, we shouldn't have given up 5 sacks. I think we gave up 5 to the Bears too. Much like that, we had no business giving up 5 sacks. This Falcons team has no pass rushers whatsoever. We had no business surrendering 5 sacks. And a lot of it is on Sam. I would put more of the issue and the onus on Sam in this game than EB. But EB does have, this is not the offensive line. I will just tell you that. You know, in past games, you could put some of the blame at the lap of the offense. This is not an offensive line issue today. This is on Sam and EB. Joseph's Journey. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Joseph's Journey writes, thought Lucas was solid today. Hope he can start. Okay, let's take a minute to. Did you guys hear what happened to Charles Leno Jr.'s wife? Remember, she was pregnant again. She had a miscarriage. They lost their baby. Like, that's a total mind blow. Like, I was like stuck. Like, I get this news because, you know, heading into the game, you hear Cornelius Lucas is starting, and we're going to probably have to bring up Trenton Scott from, you know, the practice squad to the active roster, or inactive. He's on the active 53, but we had to bring him up and make him active. He's been inactive for pretty much the entire season. And I'm like, damn, I wonder what happened with, you know, I thought just like a family member passed away or something, and he needed to go, you know, be with his wife, and you know, maybe like somebody really close to his wife or somebody like that passed away. I had no idea they lost a child. Like, that is like gut-wrenching. Ah, man. I mean, that's a game ball, you know, in the locker room for him, and you got to rally around him. Like, that's a rallying cry for the remainder of the season. Like, let's do this shit for Charles and his wife, and, you know, the baby that they lost because she had a miscarriage. Like, that's brutal, man. That shit hurt me to my core. So prayers up to the Leno family, man. Like, damn. I mean, that shit had me in a chokehold for the first like 5-6 minutes of the game when they told me that, because I knew he was out for non-injury related reasons. It was personal. That's what they listed it as. So I'm like, well, you know, we see stuff like that happen all the time. So I was like, okay, you know, and a lot of times people forget they're humans. They have lives too. Real shit happens to them as well. Like, people put these athletes on pedestals like they superhuman and shit don't happen to them. Like, shit happened to them just like it happened to you, me, and everybody. The biggest difference is they just got more money than we do. That's it. But they're humans just like us. They bleed just like us. Shit happens to them just like us. That's crazy, man. Oh, man. Anyway, Lucas, we know what Cornelius Lucas is. Like, nobody's surprised he came in and kept it nice and quiet over there. I've been advocating for that man to start at right tackle since like week 3. We already know what he is. While he's settling in, though, he's playing a lot better of late. But I think we got the best swing tackle in football. It feels like we've always been in that, even going back to Ty and Secchi. We've always had a quality swing tackle on our roster, and I think Cornelius Lucas is exactly that. Zoe Life, No Life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, punt coverage was good, but Tress is struggling. He another dude that's not having – now, he made up for it late in the game. He had one down at like the 8-yard line when we needed it. We needed him. That's when we were able to force them to I think it was a forced punt on they went for it on a 4th down and didn't get it. And we had great field position. And we didn't get it. I don't even think we gained a yard. I think that was the 3 plays, 2-yard possession, right? Give it right back to him. Like, I remember Rich in the comment section saying, hey, we just need about 8 yards and we in field goal range. We got 2 yards and gave it. Like, EB was struggling, man. Damn, he was struggling. Like, you can send Joey out for a 55-yard field goal. Indoors? All right, Joey was going to bang that, but we couldn't even get there. We just needed like 5 or 6 yards. We got 2 yards and had to punt. And I didn't blame Ron for punting right there. I didn't blame him. With the way the offense was playing, hell no. You know, and the way the defense was playing, pin their ass and Tress pinned him. But he's struggling, man. I've been out on a limb by myself talking about the struggles of Tress Way, and everybody's kind of like, he's got all this equity built up. So a lot of people like sweeping shit under the rug, and that's cool. Because he's built up a lot of sweat equity. But I'm like, bro, you let us down in the Philadelphia game. That was part of the reason we lost that game. But when we needed him today, he had a good kick. Sad American. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, laughing my ass off. I'm weak. John Perez telling Lou to relax. The man who wants everyone fired after each loss telling Lou to relax. Go figure. Isn't that some irony, right? I mean, you can't get much more ironic than that. Like, I love JP after wins because he's so calm, right? Catch JP after a loss, though. Y'all know how this shit goes. Like, you know, we don't have to go down that road. But look, the man just got married yesterday, and he's just on cloud 9 right now. So JP's like, bro, RELAX, man, relax. What y'all tripping about? We won. Like, he in the clouds right now, man. I love it. King of the North, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, man-to-man defense allows big scramble opportunities. Howell just refused to get out of the pocket. Those sacks kill us. How many times has Sam taken a bad sack on the first drive immediately after getting inside the 30? I don't think we had one of those today, though. Did we? I know that that first drive had something go wrong. Was it a sack? Let me go. I'm gonna look it up. I know we were moving, something stupid happened, and then that was the end of that drive, and we had to settle for a field goal. He has done that multiple times this year, though, where he's taken a bad sack on the first possession of the game. Let's see. Incomplete run. Deep pass to McLaurin. Yeah, he got sacked at the 23-yard line. 7-yard sack. I don't even remember how that one broke down, but I do remember him getting sacked. I remember something stupid happened, and it put us way behind the sticks. And that was the one sack that really did impact us on a drive. We got a lot of man. Like, there were opportunities for him to run. There was no clear definitive lanes for him to take off, though. Like, no Red Sea parted where he could just take off. And if you're going to run, you got to be decisive, and you got to go, and you got to figure out where you're going to go. And he was like a chicken with his head cut off a couple of times where he wanted to take off, but they had that little cup in front of him, like occupied, which is where he likes to go. He doesn't, if you notice, he doesn't scramble outside a lot. He may ultimately get to the outside, but he starts in those A and B gaps, and then he might cut it back and get outside towards out of bounds. But most of his runs come right up the middle of the field. So when you take that shit, like the book is out on him. Like, just muddle. If you're not gonna get there, just muddle the shit up and see if he can find a way to navigate his way out. And the chances are he won't. And he didn't today. You're not wrong. He's got to clean that shit up, especially early in the game when we trying to get touchdowns. At least 3 of the games in particular, might have been Arizona too. I can't remember that one for sure. But definitely Denver, definitely Buffalo, and definitely this game. He took bad sacks on those first drives that killed us. No, it didn't happen in the Bears game. No, it didn't happen in the Eagles game, for a fact. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ethan writes, refs were pretty bad tonight. Glad to see Hudson in the game. D was okay tonight, but O was bad. Where did Sam go in the second half? Not sold on EB. I mean, there's a lot of the questions, man. The refs, I didn't have a problem with the refs because they let us play on both sides. I'd much rather the game be like that than them calling every little ticky-tack thing. That shit pisses me off more than them letting us play. They let us play today. They just said, F it. Y'all do y'all thing. Long as it ain't egregious, y'all good. Have at it. I'm not mad at that. Glad to see, everybody's glad to see Khalid in the game. I mean, we all like at this point, free Khalid, right? Free we should draft up free Khalid shirts. Like, is that bad? D was okay. It was better than okay. Yeah, they gave up 402 yards of offense, but they were better than okay today. 3 turnovers, 3 sacks, a failed 2-point conversion after they had the ball at the 1-yard line. What was their rec? They were 5 of 15 on third downs, which is great, 33%. You'll take that every day of the week. And I think they were probably 1 of 3 in the red zone. Let me check. No, they were 2 of 3. Both teams were 2 of 3 in the red zone. Felt like we got another stop. Might be thinking about the 2-point conversion. But all in all, they were 1 of 3 on 4th downs. Like, the defense, they played their asses off. You got to give credit where credit is due. Spicy Kicks Hawaii. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, EB's first day of audition was mid at best, but a win is a win in the National Football League. You know what it is. Sam 1 Ridder 0. Hashtag NHO. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know how we get down. That was the goal.
New
we achieved that goal.
Order.
Like you said, a win is a win. I'll take it any way I can get it, but we got to be better. You can't be satisfied with 193 yards of total offense. That can't be the formula that you think you can replicate every week and win. You can't think that this defense is going to generate 3 turnovers every week without giving it away once. You can't think that a team that was anemic in special teams department and the returns game in particular is going to have a 70-yard punt return that sets up a touchdown. You can't anticipate these things. You can't expect these things. So you got to be better. I'll take the win, but they got to clean this shit up. JP, my guy John Perez, once again, congratulations. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, Chase needs to get sacks at this point. He had a golden opportunity to get a sack on a 3rd down that would have gotten us off the field. Now, we ultimately got off the field on the next set of downs, but he had an opportunity to get off the field on a 3rd down, get a sack, and he missed, like he typically does. And this is what we get for Chase. And like my guy Derek B said in the MOBB chat, another pressure for PFF to add to the Chase Young pressure statistic that they love to trot out there. Great. How about we turn some of those pressures into sacks? That'd be really nice. Anyway, Eagles taking care of business like they supposed to. Raiders taking care of business like they supposed to. Boy, I knew that Rams-Cardinals game, that's going to trick some people up. I can see the cards. Stay away from family business. I'll be trying to tell people. They don't want to listen to me, though. Look like I got some good games going on right now. All right. Chase does need to get to the quarterback, but I respect his hustle. He's doing a lot of good things. He's definitely getting pressures. He's disrupting plays, but he can be even more impactful, and I'm looking for him to do that at some point. Spicy Kicks Hawaii, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, smash the like button, y'all. Hashtag still outside. And we ain't going in. We ain't going inside. This was a big win because it gets you back to, like, again, I told you at season's end, we will be in the playoff conversation. Will we make it? History says no. But with a better quarterback, hopefully better play calling down the road, because I think the defense is going to get better. Like, they're going to have games where they get torched still, but I don't think that this is going to be the norm where they're giving up 30-something points every week. It'll be closer to this. Like, they'll be giving up 20-something, but it's not going to be 30 points every week. And we got some teams we can take advantage of. We can take advantage of the Giants next week. We can take advantage of New England in 3 weeks from now. Like, Seattle is good, but they're capable, but we'll see. I don't want to put them in that category, but we'll see. I think this defense is just going to get better, but this offense has to also be steadily improving and getting better. And it felt like they took a step back today. This is the thing that I do like, though. They scored touchdowns, and that's how you win. In past years, we were horrible in the red zone, and that's what cost us because we would score 17 points instead of scoring 24. We scored 3 touchdowns today, and that's the difference. All right? We scored touchdowns, and that's why we won the game. Atlanta scored 2, we scored 3. That's how we won the game. And we've been really good at that this season, especially when we don't turn it over. Tizzy Bang, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, EB needs a run game coordinator or something. Happy to see Hudson get some clock, and Quan played well. Forbes back on the field against the Giants. No. Did you see Danny Johnson make that play at the end of the game? Nah, that young fella is sitting on the sidelines. Until further notice, he'll be watching these ball games. He won't be playing a whole hell of a lot. Danny was really solid today, and as long as Danny continues to be solid, they won't do anything because, again, they're fighting for their jobs. They ain't got time to develop a rookie that they thought was going to come in and already be ready to go right out of the packaging. They didn't think they would have to worry about assembling parts and buying batteries from the store. They thought they were going to take their first round pick corner, Emmanuel Forbes, out of the packaging and just put him in and say, hey, man, do your thing. The box said no assembly required, batteries included. They opened the shit. The batteries didn't work. And they had to put some parts together. They're like, wait a minute, this is not what I was told when I purchased this. They ain't got time. They could just take Danny Johnson and stick him in there, and that's what they did. So, I don't think you're going to see him next week either. Again, barring something happening, he'll be right over there on the sideline where he was today. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, we didn't beat Atlanta. They beat themselves. Not good. Hey, that's part of the league, though. That's part of the NFL. Is most games, we talked about this already, most games are lost in this league, not won. And sometimes it's a war of attrition. You just got to hang in there and let the other team self-destruct. But let's not act like we didn't make plays. Let's not act like Jack didn't dial it up, come after Ridder, apply pressure, and he folded like a cheap lawn chair under that pressure, right? Let's not act like we didn't force the issue. This wasn't a 4-man rush with no pressure. Ridder has all day, and he's making bad decisions. No, we came after his ass, and we dared him to beat us, and he couldn't do it. So you got to give them credit. You got to give the defense credit for that. I know y'all want to shit on Jack, and this is my thing. If you're going to shit on Quan Martin, if you're going to shit on Jack Del Rio, when they make some shit happen, give them credit. You ain't got to love them, and you can still want Jack fired. Those two things can exist together, right? You don't have to separate the two of them and say, well, Jack was good today. Do we not need? No, he can still carry his ass at the end of the season, but he had a good day today. And maybe he'll use this as momentum to have a good day next week against another bad offense. And then maybe he'll parlay that into another good day against a better team that we had a chance to beat and let him off the hook. We'll see. One at a time. This was a good one for the defense. Derek B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, 68% don't mean shit if Sam breaks the sack record. It will mean a lot because you can still win games breaking the sack record. You don't want to do that, obviously. I mean, 5 sacks per game is crazy, which is what we're doing right now. It's crazy. It don't matter how many sacks you came into the game with, you getting a bare minimum of 5. That's where you start at. Now, if you nice enough, that number can get to 7, 8, or 9. But you getting 5. You came in with 2, you got 7 now. You came in with 5, you got 10 now. You're going to double that thing. Shit's getting out of hand. But 68 is 68. It's a lot of dudes in the league that ain't even close to 65, let alone 70. That's that. And Sam was leading the league in passing attempts coming into this game. Now, that number took a big hit because he only threw it 23 times today. But completing it at a 68% clip, leading the league in passing attempts, that stands for something. Getting sacks sucks. But as you've seen, we 3-3 leading the league in sacks. It easily could have been 4-2 or even 5-1 with that same statistic. So I don't like it. I don't want it to continue, but we just got to continue to forge forward and hope that it gets better eventually. Doesn't look like it is going to do that right now, but give me, if I had to choose between the two, give me the 68%. I'll figure out a way to dance around the sacks. Give me the 68%. Frank McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Frankie Baby, writes, Lou, Frank, the boys hooked me up. Gave me a win on my 20-year anniversary. Shout out to the McLaughlins out there getting it done. 20 years in the game. Congratulations to you and yours. Says both me and Mama are having a great day. That's awesome, man. It's always great when the fellas bless you with a win on a significant day. Always great. Love to hear it, man. Shout out to you and the missus, man. Congratulations. And here's the 20 more, man. Cheers. EB, Eric Bienemy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Right. We could have done a better job on offense. Yeah. But when it's all said and done with, we found a way to drag our asses across the finish line. At the end of the day, EB wants to win. EB is called Dad, OC, Friend, and EB. I am EB. That's a good one. That's a good one. Golf clap. Golf clap. That almost deserves a standing OV right there. That's good stuff right there, man. This man went down a list of jobs and titles and things that he holds within the organization during his last presser, if you guys didn't catch wind of that. And we know EB has no problems talking in the third person as well. So that's good stuff. Eric Bienemy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Now, with that said, I'm all ears. That's how he starts every press conference. He gives you about a good paragraph, breaking some stuff down, talking about some things that he noticed from last week. And then when he's done, he says, with that said, I'm all ears. And then he smiles. The cheesiest smile you ever seen in your life. And then he starts answering questions. Gotta love EB, man. That's some good stuff out there. Whoever did that one, you own it, man. J Mart, you own it. J Mart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB rights. Sup, LT? Sup, Jay? He says last week was horrible for Notre Dame and Washington. 2 dubs this weekend feels good. EB and Sam gets a come on, man, for today's game. Prayers for Leno. Yeah, man. I knew Notre Dame was going to beat USC. No doubts. Did I expect Caleb Williams to look as bad as he did? No. But he was going to struggle at some point this season because this was the perfect week for it to happen, though, because I heard some crazy shit. I want to save that for the podcast, though. I'm not going to bore y'all with that. I'll just say this. Big win for Washington. Needed that to get back to 500. We shouldn't have been in this predicament in the first place. Should have beat the Bears last week. Everybody seems to be doing a good job of shutting the Bears down except us, which is frustrating. Us and Denver don't count. They ass. So we put ourselves in that same conversation with the Broncos because we couldn't stop Justin Fields and company. DJ Moore was invisible today after 230 last week because other teams understand that that's their best player, so we're going to take his ass away. And so that's the shit that frustrates me. Jack waited a week too long to implement this. We could be sitting here at 4-2, licking our chops at the Giants and saying, hey, we set ourselves up for an opportunity next week or the week after to be 5-2 with a chance. And you hope that the Dolphins get them next week with a chance for first place again, like we had the first time we played them. Instead, we're not going to even be close to that. And we got work to do. But it's not too late. It's not too late. And definitely prayers up to the Leno family, without question. Keith, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Keith writes, Hudson is the guy, and if you don't think so, then I don't know what to tell you. Say Juice first pick ever in his life. Go play the lotto. You ain't never lie. EB showed me today that he is Woody. He needs his owner, Andy Reid. I look at it this way. It takes time. Everything takes time. We can't expect EB to just be this phenomenal play caller just like that. It'd be nice if he did, but the fact of the matter is he's got to learn how to call plays with the talent that he has. You're no longer a coach in Travis Kelce. So I don't need you to be drawing up plays for the tight end to get 8 to 9 targets a game. That's not what our offense is about. You don't have, a Tyreek Hill, but you got enough guys out here that you can spread the ball around to. I thought their offense last season without Tyreek Hill, they did a good job of spreading it around to the wide receivers. I thought that's what we were going to be getting. It seems like we are struggling in that department to get the ball to our receivers. I don't think there's enough creativeness within the play structure to get guys open. I don't see enough stacks and bunches, things that create confusion amongst the defense. I don't see enough trickeration with these routes. It just seems like everything is so basic. Just get open. Like, you got to have a little bit more substance to what it is you're calling, right? Like, everybody's running across the field this way, and then Curtis stops and pivots back out while everybody's going across the field. Like, something like that. There should have been some man. Once you saw they were playing a ton of man, let's get some man beaters going, right? Some quick plays where you're setting picks, getting guys involved. Like, I just don't understand why it was so hard today. And I can't wait to watch the film. JP, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. My guy JP writes, Lou, how come Washington always pulls some shit when it comes to streaks, whether good or bad? Is it just the way the game works sometimes? I talked about that earlier. Just don't bring your streak around us. If it's a bad one, then yeah, you if you want to get off the schneid, we can help you with that. But if you got a good streak going, you ain't lost in X amount of games, or you got a win streak going, you ain't lost all season, don't bring that shit around us because it ain't safe. The Ravens, preseason streak, snap that shit. Steelers, when they were the last undefeated team, snap that shit. Eagles, last undefeated team last year, snap that shit. Desmond Ridder home, win streak in the NFL, back to college, 31 straight games, snap that shit. Like, don't bring your shit around us. If you want to keep it intact, avoid us at all costs because we knocking shit off. We streak beaters, right? That is how the game goes sometimes, but it's a little uncanny when it comes to us. That's why I'm like, I know the Eagles dead on sight. If they get the Dolphins next week on Sunday Night Football, they dead on arrival, bro. They show up to FedEx, we getting them. They better not come here undefeated because they won't leave with a 0 in the right-hand column. That's for sure. They better hope the Dolphins get them. And if they do, I'm looking to make it 2 in a row. Send them on a little streak, see how they handle a little bit of adversity. They really ain't had none in quite some time. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, another heart attack, but a dub is a dub. O needs to be better. Is that 2016 Crowder making plays? You turned the clock back, man. Crucial interceptions and key moments on the New York, #HTTC. When's the last time this defense showed up with crucial interceptions? Not just stops. We've done that before. I'm talking about a pick. Game on the line. I see other teams do it all the time. Like the Vikings did it today. Bears were driving for the game-winning score, and they get the backup quarterback who came in for Justin Fields to throw a wobbly duck, Tyson Bagent, the rookie, and Patrick Peterson picks the shit off. God bless and good night. Right? I see teams do it all the time. We don't. Kendall Fuller did it. I think last year against the Falcons was the last time we had a pick to preserve a victory in a crucial moment. We don't do that very often. So it was refreshing to not only do it once today, we did it twice. Game on the line, Juice with a pick in the end zone. Game on the line, Jamin Davis with a pick to seal the victory. That's some refreshing shit. Like DCN1, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Tuhill moved up to third DN on the depth chart today. Man, Casey was doing. I want to know what's going on with Tez. Hopefully, it's nothing too significant. The worst case scenario, you can put a splint on it, put a little club on it, and he can still play. But Tuhill was a bad man today. I'm starting to have a little soft spot for Casey Tuhill, man. I think I'm starting to develop a little soft spot for him. Took a long time, but between the gritty against Philadelphia last year, some of the times where he's had to come in for either Chase or Tez, and he's played well. And then games like today, there's a soft spot I think I'm developing for Casey too. Don't tell nobody I told y'all that though. Chris 412. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Little concerned about how deep ball accuracy. I'm not. You know, it's one of the things he does exceptionally well. I was disappointed he missed the one last week against Chicago, but that one to Jahan today was gorgeous, and Jahan just dropped it. To be honest with you, so and he really didn't have many opportunities with deep balls today. Not any like clear and obvious ones that he missed like last week with the Diami one, but he throws a beautiful deep ball. We saw it last week against the Bears with the throw to Antonio Gibson. We saw it the week before that against the Bills when he dropped it in the bucket to Curtis on one-on-one. Like, we know he can drop it down the field. I'm not really too concerned about that. Media Truth. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Media Truth writes, Ridder stared down his targets all day. Big difference in ability between Ridder and Howell. Sam continues to improve. He's the guy for this franchise. You already know what it is.
New Howell order.
And I just needed to create distance. Like, we're not in the same category. We're not in the same conversation. Desmond Ridder is exactly what I've said. He can play in this league. He is an NFL quarterback, but he's Ryan Tannehill. That's who he is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you're probably not winning the Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill. You know, Jarris told me that he is him. Him who? Him downstairs to go get some milk and cookies. He damn sure ain't that him. He gotta be the milk and cookies him. Gotta be. J Mart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, is Jahan in EB's doghouse? Nah, I don't think it's that at all. I just don't. EB's already made it abundantly clear. I'm not going out of my way to get dudes targets. We just gonna draw it up, and whoever's open gonna get the ball. And that's, to me, that's Scott Turner shit. I don't rock with that. But no, he's not in his doghouse. Sneakers forever. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, sloppy win, but this one for Leno. Prayers to him, man. Like I said, if we see anything from the locker room, I don't know if they would want to put that out there because it's such a delicate situation. But it's got to be a game ball for him today, right? Like, we got to put one aside for him. That's emotional too. Like, this one's for Charles and the Leno family, and everybody got to go off when that, you know, if we gonna see that. Like, that's one of those moments you rally around 72 for the remainder of the year, and we dedicate in the rest of the season to his unborn baby. You know what I'm saying? So that's rough. But this is like you in sports, you become a family. Your teammates, that locker room, you become family. This is when you rally around your family member because this is when they need you the most. Chris 412, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? ATP by Curl and Fuller re-signed Tez, and I'm assuming that's Chase. Curl played his ass off today. And same with Fuller. Like, and you know what's crazy is Fuller feel like he been here or been in the league for like 8-9 years. Fuller, and it might have been that long, but Fuller is not 30 yet. He's like 27, about to turn 28. He's still relatively young. Like, there's still good football left in Kendall Fuller. And even when his career as a corner is done, I think he could make a seamless transition to a safety. I want Kendall Fuller back. I don't know about y'all. I'm a Kendall Fuller fan. Y'all know that already, though. Kevin the PRF, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, early supers are in. Look like we need to use the franchise tag on our DM, but we can't afford to lose to him. Good one. Good one. Looks like we can't afford it. And the Eagles are letting the Jets hang around. That's some scary shit, boy. Some real spooky shit like you see in a movie. I hate that I got to rely on these bastards to win because I would love to root for the Jets to beat their ass. I already told you this Eagles team ain't all that. And that Jets defense is legit. And they doing it without both of their starting corners. I expect the Eagles to still win that game, but They're making me nervous. I ain't gonna lie to you. They're making me nervous. What was I supposed to be looking at? Oh, early supers. That's right. Thank you for that, Kevin, the PRF. Let me get up in here, see what y'all talking about. Let's see where we at. So we start with Joshua Farish. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Joshua Farish writes, wow, St. Juice and Jamin with an interception. There really is a first time for anything. I said in the MOBB, it's going to snow. Juice got a pick. That shit blew my mind when he got the pick. Jamin getting it. Jamin been close, but I was shocked he got it in one-on-one with Bijan Robinson. That was a bad throw by Desmond Ridder. It was like 2 yards behind him. But still, it's a hell of a play by Jamin. Like you said, there's a first time for everything. Wilfredo Elias, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Wilfredo, who writes, EB looking kind of Scott Turner-ish in the fourth. I cannot deny this. He did look real Scott Turner-ish in the second half, not just the fourth quarter, in the second half. Real Scott Turner-ish. That shit scares me a little bit. That's a bit alarming for me because Scott Turner's a trigger for me. That's a trigger. That's a buzzword. I don't handle that very well. Redneck Rocker 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I'm starting to think Gibson is the better back. Nah, I wouldn't do that. But Gibson is versatile, and they have to continue to find ways to utilize him out in space. I just don't know why. Why is this so hard? Why is this so hard? I struggle with this. I do. Jay Hunter Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jay Hunter Lee writes, what up, Lou? What's up, Jay? Good win. But what was EB calling down the stretch, man? Golly, in my Randy Moss voice. I don't know. That's the part that is mind-boggling is the defense gave us so many opportunities to put this game away, especially that second fourth down stop that we had. And we had the ball like they turned it over like at their own like 45-yard line. Like literally, we just needed like 7 or 8 yards to get in the field goal range, and we couldn't even do that. Like it was crazy. It was like we started like the Atlanta 47-yard line, something like that. The plus 46, 47. And I think we gained 2 yards and had to punt. Like, are you kidding me? You can't get 7 or 8 yards and get in the field goal range to put this thing out of reach with a Joey Sly field goal, even if the shit 53, 54, 55 yards? Nah, we couldn't even do that. John Perez, my guy, JP, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. JP writes, Lou, I'm a married man at long last. As I said already, congratulations to my guy, JP. As for the game, I didn't see it because I was with my dad, but what a gritty win, 3-3. Now our season isn't done. Just a quick question, and again, you don't have to super chat this. Just leave it in the comment section. How's dad doing? Was he able to attend the wedding? And how's he doing? You don't have to get into explicit details. Is he doing better? Was he able to attend the wedding? That's all I would like to know. And once again, congratulations. Zoe Life, No Life. Been a member for 6 months. Writes, EB ran out of plays. Why is no one open against man? I struggle with the lack of creativity that I saw today from EB. And again, a lot of man situations where you got to have man beaters, right? Easy routes that win against man coverage, whether they're pick plays, whether you flood one side of the field. Normally flood plays are good for zone coverage, but I like a lot when you get in a ton of man, I like to have everything flowing in one direction and then something coming across in the opposite direction. You know, you didn't see a lot of that for whatever reason. Elf Life, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Been a member for 1 month. Writes, old head Lou, how we feeling, old head Lou? You gonna stop calling me that too. Good win, sir. Defense with 3 takeaways is amazing. Are they coming back? Look, it's one performance. I'm not ready to crown them. If you want to crown their ass, then crown them. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm looking forward to the Giants. I can call you old head because I'm only 18. Fair enough. I almost got you. No, I have you doubled up. So fair enough. I'm an old head to you. Zoe Life, No Life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Percy backpedaling to China. Thank God Ridder is bad. Yeah, that was the deep ball to Van Jefferson, their newest receiver. Got behind our defense. Percival, I'm like, bro, get out of your back pedal. The man is already threatening your cushion. The corner is expecting safety help to the inside. Get out of your back pedal and run, bro. Took him forever. By that time, Van Jefferson already ran past his ass. Like you said, lucky Desmond Ridder ass stinks. Got a super chat here, right here. Eric Benamy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. EB writes, I see EB getting a lot of hate. EB will get back to the drawing board, and EB will look for answers. At the end of the day, EB is hungry and misses his family. EB will go have dinner with his family. First of all, let's not act like he talks in third person all the time, because he doesn't, okay? But again, he said his family was coming down. They hadn't been here with him, so he was happy that they're here. Let that man eat dinner with his family in peace, man. All right? Font JD, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, hey, Lou, happy about the win. We stopped the losing skid. Thank goodness. Sam has to know how to not take those sacks at the end of the second half, but oh well. And how do you feel about Forbes getting back into the mix? He'll get back in there eventually. Right now, he's not getting into the mix. And they're not looking to go out of their way to get him back into the mix. Danny played well. The defense played its best game of the season, you could argue, even though technically speaking, the best defensive performance was Arizona, because we still gave up 402 yards of offense today. And we gave up, was it 1 or 2 touchdowns? Ridder threw one. I think the rest of their points were field goals, 3 field goals. No, they scored 2 touchdowns in the red zone. I digress. So we gave up 2 touchdowns. We didn't give up any against Arizona on the defensive side. So that technically is our best game. But this one's right up there, especially with the 3 picks. They carried the offense and got some help from special teams too, which isn't bad. You love to see it. Sam's got to definitely find a way to be better about sacks. And it's a continued process, man. I don't want to take his playmaking ability away from him. I don't want to neuter him. I don't want him to start looking for incompletions and not looking down the field to make something happen. But you got to know when to say when. And I told y'all this. I know a lot of y'all didn't watch Thursday night football or you didn't watch my overtime show, but Patrick Mahomes took some bad sacks in that game on Thursday against the Broncos. When you are a quarterback that likes to extend, you take some bad sacks. And Sam is not Patrick Mahomes, and he's not as developed as Mahomes. And so he's not at the point where, it's not, instead of 5 bad sacks, it's 2. He's not there yet. But we'll get there eventually. The more he plays, the better he'll get. Court Casino, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Lewski, what up, man? You back outside? Bro, I never went inside. What you mean? You was in the bed, cousin, in the back room, in the good chair. Hell, King. I was never inside. You may be referring to me picking us to lose. I said I'm tired of giving us the benefit of the doubt. Prove it to me. I gave us the benefit of the doubt the first 5 weeks, and they had me 2-3. This was a happiness hedge. I'll gladly take the L for a dub for the fellas. Gladly. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I'm always outside, bro. Barce HTTR95, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, writes. The AC feels amazing. Get back in the car, Louie T. It's about to start raining, and you don't have no umbrella. Hashtag Uncle Jack. I'm good, man. I'm good out here. I'm good, bro. I like what Jack did today. Show me again. The Giants stink on offense. I don't care if Daniel Jones, Andrew Thomas, and Saquon Barkley are all back. They stink. Everybody's getting – you think our offensive line is bad? We don't even lead the league in sacks. The Giants do. Show us next week. Show us that their offense stinks and you can get to Daniel Jones. Everybody else is doing it. Show us. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. E.D. writes, Terry didn't block that defender so B-Rob could run around him. He held him in place so B-Rob could run through him, laughing my ass off. You can tell he's angry. You know that's how B-Rob finished runs. Terry was blocking the shit out of that dude. Had him basically at the goal line, maybe even a yard into the end zone, and then he just rammed right through him. But that's B-Rob for you, though. You know he's going to finish strong. And love Sadiq being his escort all the way down the field. Sadiq was moving, boy. He was moving. EV, Eric Bienemy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, Lou, you can just call me dad. You can call me coach. You can call me EB. But when it's all said and done with, at the end of the day, we got to win. When it's all said and done with, I don't care what you call me. DC N1, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Both 16th overall picks struggling. Yeah. I think one more so because of just a lack of participation than the other. But y'all too quick to get down on people. That's the shit that pisses me off. You know, one bad play and y'all ready to cancel dudes. Like, y'all are sickening sometimes with that shit. Seriously. You know, really, really sickening with that shit. Jahan's got to play better, but he's a dog. But we treating him like a pup. So he's treating us in turn like a pup. We got to start giving this man a real. We over here feeding this man Happy Meals. He need a real dinner, and we over here barely giving this man fries and a few chicken nuggets. What he supposed to? He a grown ass man. What he supposed to do with that shit? Come on, Jahan. Here's your apple slices. What he supposed to do with that shit? He got to be better, but they got to be better and get him more involved. It shouldn't be one and done. King of the North, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, big win. That head-to-head dub versus Atlanta might come in handy later. We responded after that disaster versus Chicago. Ron's "Do Your Job" slogan resonated on defense. 3-3 with a winnable game next week. Incoming ugly loss next. Could be. You know, that's how they operate. Just when we start trying to get back in, they get back in our good graces, they go and do some stupid shit like that. Right? We'll see. I'm not getting my hopes up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to see what the Giants look like tonight, but really don't matter. But I need Buffalo to like crush their spirits tonight and leave those boys like lifeless, and we'll just come by and finish it off. Right? Chop them up into little pieces and put them in the little bags and finish them off. That's what I'm looking to do. But that ain't how we operate. We'll try to go we'll see their lifeless body on the ground and try to go give them CPR. Come on, Giants, don't die on me. Wake up. Start giving them CPR, mouth to mouth and shit. That's how we operate. We won't go in there and try to finish them off, run their pockets. Nah, we want to try to bring them back to life. We'll see what happens. T. Roy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Right. Sorry, I've been absent. First week, I'm back to the world of the living. My wife was in a fatal car accident on 9/16. Glad we got the win. If you're serious, because it's a lot of trolling that takes place on these platforms. So I never know when anybody's really telling the truth anymore. And it's hard to, take people seriously when they say stuff. But if you're serious, my condolences to you and your family. There's nothing more traumatic than sudden loss of any kind. And that's what the Leno family is experiencing right now. And if your family went through that back in September, my condolences go to you and your family. And, this is an escape for you, but reality is what it is. And so just continue to find ways to take it day by day, get through it. And that's tough, man. If that's legit, that's tough, man. And again, my prayers are up to you and your family. That's some heavy stuff. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ethan writes, by the way, thoughts and prayers for Leno and his family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Same can be said for T-Roy and his family as well. All right. Rob Yu, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rob Yu writes, Lou, I have no doubt that our QB search is over, but the hit/sacks are concerning. Needs to be a group effort to protect him, starting with himself. Absolutely. I'm about to say, if you're going to say it needs to be a group effort, it's got to start with him. You know, EB can only do so much. It's Sam's job to get rid of the football and not put himself in harm's way, right? But EB can also do a better job, just like the offensive line can do a better job, just like the tight ends and anybody else that's in protection can do a better job of making sure he doesn't get hit. EB can do a better job of putting together plays that don't allow him to be at risk. So it's, like you said, total group effort, and everybody's got to do their part, including Sam. Starts with him. Because no matter what's called, you have the ability to get out of it, like by throwing the ball away or whatever. You have the ability to take a bad play and leave it right there and not make it worse, right? DC in one. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Big Corn need more snaps, Lou. I've been advocating for him to start, but Wiley's played better, and I'll say this. I don't know how long Leno's going to be out for. That's a traumatic situation, so we'll see how long he's out for. But Cole Luke is a guy that's played really well, and he showed why he's one of the best swing tackles in football. I've been consistent in saying that. I feel that. He proved it yet again, and I think he's going to continue to be the swing tackle. But it's good to know that if something goes awry with either left or right, we got a guy that can step in and we won't miss a beat. Rob Yu, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rob Yu writes, Juice with the first pick since Pop Warner. I don't even know if he had one back in those days. you speculating there. We can't be 100% certain of that. Robbie Witherall, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Robbie writes, thanks, Lou. A win is a win. Let's keep it going. Look, we're gonna take them any way we can get them. Beggars can't be choosers, you know. It's so funny because a lot of people last week were complaining about the Bears game, and had we come back and win, a lot of people still would have been complaining, and I would have been happy as hell. I would have been pissed off about how the game started, but I would have been happy about coming. And I really truly believe this. Had Joey Sly made that field goal, we would have won that game. I truly believe that in my heart of hearts, but we'll never know. But I ain't complaining. Take him any way I can get him. Font JD, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, deepest condolences to Leno and his wife after their miscarriage. Man, it just doesn't get much more gut-wrenching than that, man. And so deepest condolences and prayers up, man. Blessings come down when you send those prayers up. So everybody send one up for the Leno family, for T-Roy and his family. And blessings definitely will come down. And it takes time, man. When something like that traumatic happens and devastating like that, it takes time. You know, only time is going to be able to heal that wound. So that's rough, man. I just remember how excited they were. Remember, they had the little video that they posted on social media of him finding out. Remember, his wife surprised him. They had a sign up, and he didn't know, right, that she was pregnant. So they were really excited. She just had a baby last year, and she was having another one, and they lost this one. So that's tough, man. J Mart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, what a B-Day gift. Notre Dame and Washington get dubs. That's awesome. Awesome birthday gift. Let's see. All right. I'm keeping tabs of this damn Jets and Eagles. I'm over here nervous as hell. More nervous than I was for our game. Meno Mayhem. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, sup, Louie T. Sup, Meno. First time donating. Appreciate you. He says, what's your opinion of our current state, Washington getting a wild card spot? I think we're in the top 7 in the NFC, but I'm a casual. It's too early to be talking about, to be using the P word, right? We got a lot of football left. I don't start using the P words till we, get into the double digits. And really, I don't really start looking at that stuff like heavy until we get to Thanksgiving. That's when you start to really, like somebody just said, I think it was King of the North, just said, this is a big win because you might be fighting with a team like Atlanta at the end of the season for a wild card, and it may come down to tiebreakers, and you beat them head to head, so you own that matchup. And that's huge, right? When you look at the landscape of the NFC, it's going to be a lot of teams vying for that 6th and 7th spot. Don't just automatically count Seattle in there. They haven't been all that great of late, and they lost again today. I think 5 spots in the NFC are spoken for without question. And I'm counting Dallas in there. We already know somebody winning the South. We know Philadelphia and San Francisco, and we know Detroit, right? That's 4, and Dallas is 5. I'm not counting Seattle yet. We play Seattle, so we'll have something to say about that. But at the end of the day, it's too early to be talking about the P word. It's a lot of football left, so we'll see. But we'll be in the mix. I've already said that. And I feel that, and I don't think that's going to change. We'll be in the mix. Whether we get it or not remains to be seen. King of the North, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. King of the North writes, EB needs to break his addiction to shotgun run up the gut. It's his crutch. It's like he goes to it when he needs a breather or he needs a break to give him time to find the next big pass play he wants. It does feel like that, doesn't it? It does feel like those runs are just like placeholders. Like, all right, man, let me see what else I got. Play clock's getting down. Let me just call one of these, basic ass runs. And while I know we about to get 1 or 2 yards or no yards, I'll be looking for the next pass play that I want to throw. Right? That it kind of feels like that. It's ridiculous. He's got to be better, way better. Mark Mullinex, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Mark Mullinex writes, hey, Lou, NFL said, Sam and I am LOL. Sam, I am. Eclipsed 1,500 yards and ran for 135 through the first 6 games. He's 1 out of 4 in the history to do that in the first 6 weeks. Some of these stats are crazy that people come up with. That's a random ass stat right there. But in saying that, it shows his athleticism, and they've thrown it a lot. I would hope that he's eclipsed 1,500 yards. And that was with a game like today where he didn't even throw for 200 yards. So definitely excited about Sam, excited about the future with Sam. And now it's just a matter of him being consistent. That's the thing that this entire organization has lacked, is consistency. So that's what it's all about. Stringing these things together, having multiple games in a row with no turnovers. Because when we don't turn it over, we're going to be tough to beat. I really believe that. But we haven't had many games where we've won every game that we didn't turn it over in. No, I lied. We didn't beat Philadelphia, but we scored 30 points in that game, right? Scored 24 today. Again, a lot of help from special teams and the defense, but they still got it done in the red zone where it matters. So I like when we don't turn it over. It really gives us a legitimate shot to win. Christopher McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy Chris writes, hey, Lou. What's up, Chris? Hope all is well with you and the family likewise. Glad we won, but we have work to do. Plenty of work to do. What do you think the coaches can do with the play calling to help obtain greater consistency throughout the game? Babe, water. Can you give me the one of the small ones in the drawer? Yeah, small ones. For me personally, what we've seen from this offense in the first 6 weeks is that we got to stay ahead of the chains. Like, we're not a good 3rd and long offense. Thank you. Appreciate that. We're not a good 3rd and long offense. We need to be able to have a 5-yard gain on first down or a 4-yard gain on first down. If you're not going to run it effectively, if you're going to have these bullshit ass runs, then you better have the pass game be an extension of the run game then. And when we're at our best, like the Philadelphia game, to me was the most complete game that we've played. My favorite play call game was the Denver game because we had the screen game working at a high level, and we were able to really keep the Broncos, I felt like, off balance. It felt like the Eagles game, I thought we just executed at a high level. I don't think we tricked them or we did anything all that, extravagant. I just thought we just executed to a T. Like, we had a game plan, we stuck to it, and we converted on third downs at 8 of 17, right? Like, we were efficient in that game. I thought the Denver game was the most creative game we've seen, but I'm looking to mesh the two together. We can have consistency, staying ahead of the sticks, but we can also be creative with the screen game and do some things to take advantage of some of the coverages that we're seeing. And I just don't feel like we're doing that right now. Even the run game was really good in the Denver game because we kept them off balance. I think we need more diversity. I've been screaming diversity, diversity, diversity. We need to diversify the plays that we're calling and how we're going about business. If we can do that, we're going to have a shot to be really dynamic on offense because I like the pieces that we have and I like what we can do. But we're going to have to be a lot more. Damn, the Jets on the move. I knew they could win that game. I did not want to pick the Eagles, but I did not like the rest of the games on the slate. Font JD, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Font JD writes, I'm concerned with this coaching staff's ability to develop this talented roster. I don't know if develop is the right word. Get the most out of, yeah. I can get with that. Because they're not maximizing the talent that we have right now. And some of that comes with time. Again, I don't want to crush EB, but it's becoming a disturbing trend. And it's getting to the point where I'm like, and he's made it abundantly clear. It's not like he's run away from this or he's made it a concerted effort to try to get them involved and they just haven't. He's already made it clear, like, I'm not going out of my way to get nobody to football. We're going to run the offense the way it's supposed to be run, and this how we're going to conduct ourselves. So I'm not really feeling EB in that regard. And so I need him to tighten up. I need him to find ways to get our playmakers more involved. It's really simple. And if he can do that, I think we'll be fine. Take care, Deezy. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Take care, Deezy writes, Louie, you are my idol and inspiration. At this point, put you in at the DC. We need you, LT. I found my idol. I don't know about all that, but I feel like there's things that can be done that just seem like common sense. I'm of the mindset that people make football harder than it needs to be. That's where I am. Simplify the game. Make it easy. It doesn't have to be this hard. F. Altus, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Weird that it's still Jay Gruden's picks balling out with this staff. Maybe Ron should learn from that and bring back Morgan Moses and Holcomb. LOL. Nah, we good. We good, man. But that's what happens when you make picks and you pick good players, right? When you pick good players, they give you longevity. And they picked some good players in early rounds when Jay was here. Tizzy Bang, been a member for 2 years. Who writes, I'm outside by myself in Nebraska, Louie, and all I want is our team to stop playing like there's a mercy rule. Hey, you're allowed to actually like take a 3-score lead on somebody. We got to that 2-score limit and we didn't know how to act. Like, can we score another touchdown? Are we allowed to go up 3 scores? Like 21 points is a bit excessive, I will admit. Like, that's kind of how they operate. Like, we had every opportunity to blow them out. And I knew we weren't going to take it. I'm going to tell you what possession did it for me. We scored the touchdown. We went up 24-10. Chase had a chance to get a sack. He didn't. But then the next set of downs, we got the stop and we got the football back. And I said, all right, Birdman hand rub. Here we go. Right. And then I want to say we proceeded to go 3 and out. You know what? I think that was the Chris Rodriguez drive where he had the 2 runs. And then EB's so weird because Chris Rodriguez comes in and gets 2 good runs. And when B-Rob gets 1 good run, we go immediately away from the run and throw it. Chris Rodriguez gets 2 good runs and he runs it a 3rd time and they get nothing. Now it's 2nd and long. And then after that, they got nothing. And now it's 3rd and long. And then they got nothing. And we had to punt. And that's when I was like, uh-oh. That wasn't what I thought it was going to be. All right, the Jets move backwards. It's now 3rd and 23. Rams have gotten ahead of the Cardinals, but they fighting for their life. Lions playing some hellified defense. They're taking care of business. All right. They damn sure are playing like it's a mercy rule. Killing me slowly, man. Font JD, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Atlanta had 5 sacks coming into the game. Now they have 10. That's how we operate. The Bears had 2 coming into the game. They left our game with 7. That's how we move. That's not a secret anymore. DMV Bay, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Curtis is having a very solid year. He is. They need to get Jahan more involved. His confidence and performance appears affected. Diami ain't that guy. I like Diami. Diami's not a problem. I just have a problem with them not get like the first thing Ron said when he hired EB was, we got the personnel to do what Kansas City does. Like they spread it around and get the ball to playmakers in space. They get it in their hands quickly. We got the guys to do that. We're not doing that. That is the exact reason you said you brought EB here. And we're not doing that. We were told Antonio Gibson was going to be this huge part of the offense, and then we're going to do all this stuff with him. We're not saying that. We got to beg for Antonio Gibson to get opportunities as a receiver. Last week, he has a big catch down the sideline, one-on-one. Why aren't we going back to that? Again, don't mind me. Red Wing 01, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, thoughts and prayers to the Leno family. I wouldn't blame him if he wanted to sit out a while. I know just how devastating that close a loss is. Indeed. And you've shared some of your, struggles and issues with us. And it's tough, man, when you lose a loved one like that, or, it's tough. I can speak from experience. I've seen it happen multiple times, and it's tough. And so I don't know if he's one of those people that need time, or if he's one of those people that in order to get back to any level of normalcy, he needs to go back to work and stay busy and active, because he'll go insane. Like it's really multiple schools of thought with that, but you're usually in one or two categories. Either you got to just grieve and mourn and kind of go through that process, or you work and when you do that and stay busy, you running from the issue, right? But eventually you're gonna sit there and you're gonna be in your thoughts and in your head, and you're gonna have alone time, and it's still gonna hit you. Like, so you can either deal with it or you can try to avoid it, but it's gonna get you eventually. So, again, thoughts and prayers to the Leno family for sure. Command the Room, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Command the Room writes, listen, Terry had 8 targets in the first half. We were up 17-7. Second half, 2 targets. We get 0. Not counting Fuller's interception gift. You got faith in Bieniemy. The conservative BS is done. That was my rallying cry in the first half. It's not surprising the offense is moving the ball and they scoring points. You getting your playmakers the ball. Jahan and Terry, or Terry and Curtis in particular. Curtis had the little jet sweep type pass, pop pass that they threw him inside the red zone that set up the first touchdown of the game. Or it might have been the second after the JC Ice return. I think it was the second one, which was the first touchdown of the game. And then he also caught the touchdown pass, right? So Curtis is getting involved, and he's been, like somebody said just a couple minutes ago, he's been really good this year. Like, Curtis has been one of the pleasant surprises. Not that he's not capable, but I was expecting the targets that he's getting. I was expecting that to be Jahan. It's been Curtis getting those targets. Red Wing 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Cole Luke got to start at right tackle when Leno comes back. Will it happen? No. You know that. No, but he should, and we can see if Wiley can play left guard for next year because Sadiq's gone. You don't think they're going to bring Sadiq back? I think Sadiq is working on a new contract right now as we speak. All right. Sadiq's, and again, this regime drafted him. The next crew comes in here. They got nothing to do with Sadiq, but they can watch the film and see Sadiq's a quality ball player. And it's not going to take a lot to get Sadiq back here from a financial standpoint. So we'll see what happens. But you know, Cole Luke is not under contract. This is his last year. He signed a 2-year deal 2 years ago. So if you want Cole Luke back, you're going to have to pay him too. So we'll see what happens. John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. JP writes, not going to lie, Lou, 17 slow start to 2023 is concerning. The slow start to all our receiver season, for the most part, is concerning. And I directly attribute it to our offensive coordinator not going out of his way, not making a concerted effort to get his best players of football. I don't think Terry's had a 100-yard game this season. I'm curious. I know the answer to that. I don't got to look the shit up. I know he ain't had a 100-yard game this season. Today might have been his best game of the season. He had 80-something yards. I think he's had 80-something. I think he had 80-something against the Eagles, too. I'm going to look. I'm curious. I think he had 83 against the Eagles. I think he had 81 today. 6 for 81 today. And he had 8 for 86 against Philadelphia. Those are his 2 best games of the season. So he hadn't even had, I don't think we've had a 100-yard receiver this season yet. That's disgusting. For what we thought we were going to be able to do, that's disgusting. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, what's up with Jahan? I mean, we've talked about it already. You know, it's a number of different things you can point to, but I think the biggest thing is lack of activity or inactivity. It's hard to get locked in when you're not a part of the offense. And I'm not making any excuses for him because when you find, like, this is what he said every week in his locker, he says the same thing when they talk to him. He says, I just got to make the most of my opportunities when they come to me. And you're not doing that. But come on, man. You can't throw me the ball once and not throw it to me again. Like, that's just crazy to me. Jado, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jado writes, Ridder is checked off the list. Who's next? You already know. It's Bailey Zappi. It should be Zappi hour. The Patriots right now have scored 10 points. Last time I checked, it was 19-10. They were losing to the Raiders. And so we'll see what happens in that game. Hopefully it continues to trend in that direction. And we'll be able to get Zappy in there for the game when we play him and check him off the list too. Scratch him off the list. Derek B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? EB looks like he's not running his offense. Oh, yeah. It's not his offense, huh? He is, like I said, he's still trying to find his way as a play caller. What is abundantly clear is that he was a part of the meetings in Kansas City and putting the game plan together. But the rhythm and flow and how you call a game, I still think that was Andy Reid, personally. Because it's not cohesive at all. It's not, there's no cohesion whatsoever. Just Andre, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, what does 47 have to do to get more PT? Del Rio just sucks. It's sad that a rookie Quan goes after the ball, unlike the rest of the D. I just want the young fellas to get more opportunities. You drafted Quan to play him, right? Khalil Hudson, I don't know what else he has to do. I mean, we can see it clearly as fans. We see it. We're not at practice every day, and I always make sure I throw out that disclaimer. We're not at practice every day, but Jesus, I mean, what more does the man have to do when he does get in the game? I mean, I don't know at this point. I really don't know what else can be done. Frank Brown, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Frank writes, what's up, Lou? 3-3, not bad, but we definitely can do better. And man, we can never sit back and chill with this team. LOL. No, I forget who it was. I think it was Zoe Life, No Life. Somebody said it's like this team thinks there's a mercy rule or something. Like, you can score 31 and go up 31-10. That's allowed. Like, you can suffocate the Falcons and win going away convincingly. That's allowed. We always on the edge of our seats every game. Sam is that dude. NHO #HTTC.
New Howell order.
Bro, I need to wipe, but I ain't got no TP. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes. Check it out, Lou. I'm not going to say anything, and I might catch a lot of heat, but Jay would have had this team producing better, and Manusky-led 2017 D is greater than this D. I've already said that if Jay was able to sink his teeth into Sam as a passer and this collection of weapons, no doubt in my mind, Jay's got this offense cooking, right? That's not the problem. But Jay's an offensive coordinator. He's not a head coach. So if you told me Jay wasn't the head coach, but rather the offensive coordinator, yeah, I tell you, Jay got this shit cooking with gasoline. We'd have put up 40 on the Falcons today. With the opportunities that were presented to the offense, we'd have put up 40 with Jay's offense. Now, Jay ain't had no run game either, if you recall. Jay's run game was trash, just like EB's has the tendency to be. Not always. EB's run game at times is clicking, like the Buffalo game, like the Denver game. You know, there's certain games and spots where you like, this shit ain't half bad. Then there's games where you go, yeah, okay, this run game is ass. But I won't go that far with Manusky in the defense. I won't go that far. Now you went too far. Al Butts, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Al Butts writes, Jack still has to go. Ridder made us look not bad today. I'm still shaking my head with the play calling on D. Press coverage on third and forever. 10-yard cushion and on third and short. Thank God we didn't fumble today. Turnovers were key. They had 3 of them. We had none. Punt return was key. We had a big one. They didn't. These are the things that help you win games. I talked about complementary football. We had that today. That's why we won. Pretty much case shut. Ridder definitely helped. He was huge. But Jack heating his ass up and applying pressure and seeing how the young fella was going to do under pressure was huge too. Because if we would have sit back and let him cook like we did Justin Fields, he would have ate our ass up. Red Wing 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Red Wing 01 writes, Quan further proving preseason performance means nada. And, you know, it was early, right? And he hadn't been in the system that long, and the speed of the game, it was a lot of things coming at him. The game had to be moving at warp speed to him. I guarantee you shit's moving a lot slower for him now. And he knows what he's doing a little bit more. And he'll only be better as he grows even more and more comfortable with what they're asking him to do. There's plenty of blame to go around for the sacks, but the fact is Sam's body going to give at some point. I don't know. We'll see. As long as he's not taking the big shots. He didn't take any big shots today. Those are the ones that I worry about. All right. As long as he avoids the big shots, I think he can make. He's a young guy. I don't want him to continue to take these hits, but he's not 32 years old. He's 22 or 23 years old. He's a young dude. He's like one of the youngest quarterbacks in the NFL right now. He's like 21, 22, 23 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood. He's young. He bounced back like round ball. I don't want him to continue to take the hits, but he's young enough that he can bounce back. Just don't take the big ones. That's all I'm looking for him to avoid. Christopher McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Chris, who writes, hey, Lou, I know it's early, but huge tiebreaker win. Absolutely. If the season continues as it is, we are fighting Dallas and Seattle for the 5th seed and 6th in the NFC. How much does this team need the 5 seed? Look, who doesn't want to play Tampa Bay? Who doesn't want to play New Orleans? Who doesn't want to play this Atlanta team? Who doesn't want to play, well, it won't be Carolina. It'll be one of those 3 teams. Who doesn't want to play that team? I said this already. It's just like like Dallas playing Tampa Bay last year. Everybody wanted to play Tampa last year. They limped into the playoffs, and you knew that they were vulnerable. You knew it. That's what everybody's going to be looking at the 4 seed that like this year. Like, yo, let me get that 5. That's a win. I don't want to play Detroit, and I damn sure don't want to play Philadelphia or San Francisco if I don't have to in the first round. I don't have any issues playing Philadelphia in the second round. Well, no parts of them in wild card weekend as a 2 seed. I think we could do them, but I don't want to have to do them when I can get me a layup in wild card weekend going to Tampa or going to Atlanta. And I say layup loosely. That's the game you really feel like you got a shot to win. But again, let's not have that conversation right now. We're a long ways away from having that conversation. Bear it down. And my guy, BD, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. BD, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Writes, I'll take a dub and sacks when we get them, but I want game-changing sacks. Big up, Lou. We almost had one with the Quan Martin sack, forced fumble. We almost had one. But, we don't like nice things. But, look, we had 3 picks today, so I can't even say that. Eagles done kicked the field goal. The Jets done kicked the field goal. Shit's getting shitty fast. A1 the Great. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, hey, Lou, those shotgun runs, trash, especially in the red zone. I can't stand them with a passion. But that's EB's scheme. That's what he's going to do. I'd like to see a little bit more of Sam being inserted into that. If you're going to keep running these gun runs, let's get a little. Have we seen any RPOs? Like true RPOs out of this system? Like, we got to diversify this shit, man. There should have been some easy pop passes over the middle of the field from read options, run pass RPOs rather. There should have been a couple more Sam. I like that they used it. They saved it for a 4th down and pulled it out then. But, I wouldn't mind on a 1st down you do that and Sam keeps it and runs for 5 or 6 and slides. Like, we gotta find a way to spruce up this run game because it just feels real bland and like nah, and there's so many ways we could do it. You can go tosses with Curtis or Antonio. You can go jet sweeps with Curtis or Jahan. You could do. We haven't even used the shovel pass yet. I know it's in his bag because he came from Kansas City. They used to wear the shovel pad. We ain't even done one of them shits yet. That ain't even a run, I know, but still, it's like an extension of the run game. Like, you don't got to be in the red zone to do that shit either. But anyway, I digress. Why every team we play score a touchdown on the opening drive? Great question. I don't know. Now, that's not true, but it feels like it is. Let's see. Arizona didn't score a touchdown on their opening drive. The Broncos did. The Bills did not. I don't think. I think they got a field goal on their opening drive, not a touchdown. The Eagles definitely did score on their opening drive. And the Bears did and the Falcons did. So I think we're like 4 out of 6. That's not good, right? Clearly. I don't know why we come out so slow. And what's crazy is it's not like it's just bing, bang, boom right down the field. We get to 3rd down multiple times on these first possessions. We hit the Bears in the 3rd and like 11 on their first possession. And they hit DJ Moore for like 58. Then we got them to 3rd and like 10 again from like the 12 13, 14-yard line or whatever it was, and he found him in the back of the end zone wide open. Like, what is going on? They had multiple third downs in this game on the first possession. And every time they found somebody wide open over the middle of the field. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, wide open, move the sticks. And it wasn't 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 3. It was 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Daniel Jones, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Daniel Jones writes, Benjamin St. Juice, a cheat code in the end zone at the end of games. I just know we've gotten away with more DPIs with Benjamin St. Juice than any corner in the history of this team. But when he gets down in the red zone, that's his area of expertise, I feel like, because it's close quarters. And that's when you can get into a little bit of hand fight and get away with it. And you don't have to defend as much space. I think he's really good in short areas. That's why they like him in the slot too, because he's good in short areas. So I think he's really good down in the red zone. Reedy Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Reedy Davis, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, writes, Lou, here starts Ron's run. I know this movie. It'd be great if it started, because if it does, that would mean you got wins over 2 NFC East teams. In the process, you've extended your record over 500 by 2 or 3 games, which is something that we don't generally do. You know, we briefly did it last year at 7-5 before the season crumbled, right? Like if we start, because this is way earlier than we started. So if we started now, it'd be great. But then what are you going to do when shit is up? Like, you know what would be great? A 6 out of 7 would be great right now. That would be awesome. Like win 6 out of your next 7. Then we could have a real conversation. That shit ain't happening. We know better. Going Commando. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, good to feel a dub again, Lou, but not a satisfying one. First of all, any dub is satisfying. So, some of y'all will turn a win into a loss. Any dub is satisfying. There's different degrees of satisfaction, but for you to just come out and say it's not a satisfying one, we not looking at the same scale, because a win is satisfying, period. Now, it might be at the bottom of the satisfaction, chart, right? The satisfaction meter, it might be all the way at the bottom, but I'm satisfied. Because, the alternative is a loss. Ain't shit satisfying about that. So, it's satisfying. It's just not as satisfying as it could have been. At a loss for why Turner doesn't get more time and why it took us 6 weeks to put 47 in. Hashtag NHL. At a loss for why Turner. Oh, Cole Turner. I don't know what EB's fascination with Logan Thomas is in obvious passing situations where we used to complain about what happened to the tight end screen. What happened to the tight end screen? And why can't we get Cole Turner 1 or 2 of those a game? Why he can't get 1 or 2 touches a game? Again, make it make sense. I'm with you. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't get it. Going Commando. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Falcons being overly aggressive helped us. If they stayed level-headed, this may have gone the other way. That team made fewer mistakes. The team that made fewer mistakes won today. And I told you the Falcons aren't a team that can play outside of that realm. They're like Tampa Bay. I told you they can only win one way. They got to play mistake-free football. They can't shoot themselves in the foot. If they do that, they're not a good football team. When they play within themselves, quality defense, they don't turn it over, they can beat you at that 24-20 game, 23-20 game, 22-19 game, 22-20 game. But that requires them to do the little things, and they didn't do the little things correct. They had to burn their last time out of the game after spiking the ball on a 3rd and 1. Like, what the hell are you doing? How do you get a delay of game from the 1-yard line, bro? After we just had a player hurt and gave you a free play, a free 2 yards or whatever and moved it from like the 3 to the 1 or the 2 to the 1. And he got to delay a game. They was tripping. They didn't do the little things today. Trevor Patch, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy Trev writes, Lou, I know you see all. I had a few things, but everything needed to be said that was said by you or others. Just supporting. Still eyeballing Ben Johnson hard, as you should be. EB has done nothing right now to quell any desire for an outside offensive coordinator to come in here, or head coach for that matter, next year. He's done nothing to stem that tide. If anything, performances like this are further sending you in the direction of, hey, we need to upgrade that. So I appreciate you, Trev, as always. No sellout. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. No sellout writes, peace, fam. Hashtag 757, stand up. I was high and or was B-Rob headhunting or looking for contact with the LBs. First time super chatting on any channel. I appreciate that, man. Keep the random timeless childhood quotes coming. Pause. Hashtag HTTC. Look, he runs high. He's a taller back. I love my upright runners. That's what I call them. My tall upright runners. But you got to lower your shoulder and run behind your pads. D-Rob's always looking for contact. That's the kind of player he is. Runs through arm tackles, is extremely physical. We know him to be that. That goes back to his days at Bama. That's just who he is as a football player. That's why I'm like, you got to get him the ball and you got to get him going downhill. These runs where he's running parallel to the line of scrimmage, sideways, that's going to result in a loss of yards 9 times out of 10 with B-Rob, because he needs to be getting up the field. That's when he's at his best, when he can square his shoulders and make somebody pay. Ayub Matan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ayub writes, Juice future CB1 and the defense is shaky. I don't know if he's a CB1. I think he's more of a CB2. I guess it could all depend on what kind of system you put him in. But I can tell you this. Juice can play some man. It's going to be sticky. It might be too sticky and he might get called for a penalty. But he can play some sticky man underneath. It's just when you get vertical, the longer you run, the more space is going to be created, because he is not a top speed guy, right? Top end speed guy. So the issue with Juice is never underneath coverage. You get this shit all day with Juice, right? We clap all day underneath. Juice all over that shit. Almost to the point where you're like, hey, they got to throw a flag, man. Juice is abusing dudes out here. But it's when you get down the field, I worry about him. Jairus's Corner. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jairus's Corner writes, what's up, Lou? What's up, Jairus? When I'm wrong, I'll say it. Howell got this game. I appreciate you manning up, because a lot of people like to talk shit, throw stones, and then hide their hand and run. So I appreciate you coming back and owning that, because you were very definitive. And I told you we can agree to disagree. If that's your boy, that's your boy, But he says, I'm still riding with my guy Ridder, though. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's your guy. That's your guy. He made 3 mistakes in this game, but he also had some great moments in this game. But I was wrong. You got me today. 100. I appreciate that. Y'all know what it is.
New Howell order.
We're going to keep forging forward. And the next man up on the list, if he's in the lineup when we see him, if not, we just going to cross him off the list, because you ain't good enough to get on the field with a struggling team and a struggling offense. If you can't get on the field in that situation, then you trash, and I'm better than you anyway. But next man up is Bailey Zappi. So we'll see what happens then. And we just going to we could already scratch off Matt Corral. He'll never see the field in Carolina. He might be out of the league in a year or two. So we could scratch his name off the list already. Barry Curtis Jr., thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Barry Curtis Jr. writes, first of all, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, I love Kendall Fuller, man. I'm going to miss him if he's gone next year. Underrated. I've been trying to tell you that to y'all for years, and y'all used to clown me, bake ZD, this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, Kendall can play some ball, man. I don't know what y'all on, but Kendall can play some ball. And y'all seeing it. And I will go out on a limb and say Kendall will make a fantastic safety in this league too. Like, he can make a Charles Woodson type transition to safety. No bullshit. I would love to see it happen, and I would love to see it happen here. He's a smart football player. Those kind of guys, you need them on your roster. Red Wing 01, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, been a member for 12 months. Fuller had 9 tackles today. He had 11 all season before. Kendall is a menace. He had so many tackles because they were throwing the damn ball to Drake London so damn much today. But even in a run game, we know what Kendall's about. The screen game, we know what Kendall's about. Kendall's a dog. Love him. Love him, love him, love him. Dennis Bartholomew, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Dennis Bartholomew, thank you for the super chat. Bro, I need the white, but I ain't got no TP. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, let's talk about it. 2017, before all those injuries, you telling me that D didn't perform better than this D has all year. Check Raiders versus Skins 17. I remember the game. It was a Sunday night game. They dominated Derek Carr and that Raiders team. They played well early. I mean, remember, all the injuries happened the following week on Monday Night Football versus the Chiefs. That's the week Jonathan Allen got hurt, and I think Ioannidis got hurt. Josh Norman got hurt. We had a lot of injuries in that game. Like, we really were decimated with injuries in that game. But at the same token, that defense, I think, had its moments where it got shredded that season too. I'll never put a Greg Minuski coach defense over this one. I just don't think very highly of Greg Minuski. He used to talk about cracking skulls and striking iron all the time, but we was getting gutted every week, it seemed like. Never put him before anybody. Cherish 202. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Cherish writes, is it me? The word job has been tossed around too many times. EB said, if you call it a job, it's time to pack up and leave because this is the fun part. Was that a low-key dig at Ron given the sign he put up, or is it me? I never thought about it that way. I don't know if that was in reference to what Ron had going on. I think EB was just speaking for himself and saying, look, man, I love what I do, and I'm having so much fun. And if it ever becomes tedious to the point where I look at it as a job and it becomes cumbersome, then I need to stop doing it. And I don't need to do this anymore. It's time to find a new profession. That's kind of like how I feel about this. This is not a job for me. This is fun. I enjoy doing this. And when it becomes cumbersome and tedious to the point where I don't enjoy it no more, maybe I don't need to do this anymore. They say if you do something that you love, you never work a day in your life. So I think that's what he was more so speaking to, and not necessarily trying to take a subliminal shot at Ron. I don't think that's what he was trying to do at all. But I never thought of it from that angle. That's a different way to look at it. I never gave that any thought. Key himself, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Key himself writes, when you dropping the Howell Sway t-shirts? I don't know when those are coming, man, but that ain't a bad idea. Reedy Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Lou, Philly in a dogfight. I knew they were going to be in a dogfight. I knew it. I did not want to pick them, but that was the only game I felt comfortable enough picking as my survivor pick. But I knew they were going to be in a dogfight. This is a good Jets defense. And the way Eagles have been playing offense this year, this doesn't surprise me. So I'm not shocked by this. The Rams have created a little bit of distance in their game. They look like they're going to win comfortably. I'm over here on the struggle bus, man. I'm going to have to tune in and see what the hell's going on once I get out of here with y'all, because my survivor pool hangs in the balance. If they lose, they lose. I'm going to talk shit. But I'm going to be mad as hell because there goes 1,000 and some change down the drain, right? But it is what it is if they don't win the game. I'm going to be mad because I'm not going to ask them to win no more this season. I won't need them anymore this season. But this is indicative of what the Eagles are. I keep trying to tell Eagles fans, they keep trying to tell me, and we still haven't played our best football. You know, I expect them to still win this game. And when they win, you know what they're gonna say? And we still ain't played our best football. Try that shit next week against Miami. Try this same 14-point bullshit. And again, no Sauce Gardner, no DJ Reed on the other side, and you can't score against a backup corners. Okay. Don't try to tell me that this Eagles team is just fine. Okay. We'll see. Bro, I need a white, but I ain't got no TP. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I only pointed out to say that when it comes to the eye test, our defense hasn't been great or much better since the change to JDR's scheme. Decent, yes, but seemed faster at times under Minuski. I mean, and that's up to interpretation. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There are times where I feel like this defense doesn't play as fast as it should, given the athleticism that exists on this defense. I thought they played fast today. I did like that. I thought they flew around today. That's why you didn't see Bijan Robinson getting off. They made it a concerted effort to attack, the guys that they needed to attack. The only guy they let get off really was Drake London. But I thought they were flying around today. I was pleased with the performance. So anyway, I digress. That's going to do it for me, your man Louie Tee. Commanders get back in the left-hand column, snapping a 3-game skid with the 24-16 victory over the Atlanta Falcons. It was not pretty, but it was gritty. And most importantly, it was a dubski. 3 interceptions by the defense, who really was the catalyst for this victory. Big return by Jamison Crowder to set up the first touchdown of the day. This was a 3-phase win by Washington. The offense wasn't necessarily its best, but when its best was required in the red zone and with the opportunities set up by short fields, by plays, whether it's special teams or defense, they cashed in, and that is what is most important. We have a lot of work to do if we plan on beating better teams in the league. Hell, next week, you think you're going to play like this against the Giants and they're not going to come and get up for us and be ready to beat our ass? You got another thing coming. You're going to have to be better moving forward, but you take the win while you're continuing to try to figure shit out. And that is the name of the game in the National Football League. That's going to do it for me, your man Louie Tee, here on the Command Post Game Show live. Post up. Take command. Got a super chat here from bro. I need the white, but I ain't got no TP. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes all that to say JDR gotta go. Need game winning type man. I'm not mad at that. I told you the Bears game, I think, sealed their fate, honestly speaking. But they got now 11 games, and this was a good start to turn it around and change people's minds. But I think their fate is already sealed, personally. But we'll see. Pearson W3, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Pearson W3 writes, best start for Ron since he's been here. I think EB wants his running back for his system. He gave C-Rod snaps in a big game. We'll see. I can tell you this, C-Rod got downhill in a hurry. I thought B-Rod was doing a little bit of dancing today. A lot of bouncing, a lot of trying to, bullshit in the backfield, and he just needed to get downhill. And I think that's when you saw Chris Rodriguez get some carries. So we'll see. But this is the best start for Ron. That's not up for debate. It was 1-5 in 2020. It was 2-6. It was 2-2 in 2021, but then it ended up being 2-6. And then last year it was 1-4. So this is by far and away the best start. So 3-3. We'll see where it goes from here, right? See where it goes from here. But in any event, you guys get out of here. Enjoy the rest of the games. The Eagles are on the ropes. We'll see what they do. And Giants, we'll see if the Bills have any mercy for them tonight. And then the Cowboys are tomorrow on Monday night. It should be a really good slate of primetime games. Depending on, not tonight. I think tonight's going to be an ass whooping. But tomorrow, that should be a really good one. That should be pretty yummy. But anyway, we did our part. We took care of business. Now we get to kick back and watch everybody else struggle and squirm. That's a great feeling now, isn't it? You guys have a good one. Take care. God bless. And good night.